Holy cow!
Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, depending on where and when you're watching this broadcast. I'm Thomas Fessler, my friends, and this is Disclosure Tonight. Happy freaking Friday. It's that day of the week, down to the hour, minute, and second, that we come together as a community to talk about those things in the sky that our government wants to blow out. What are we talking about? Well, we're talking about those things the government usually doesn't want to talk about, those things from science fiction. Yes, those stuff that we've seen on the X-Files so many times, and those things that so many times you can go up out of your house in the evening and potentially see, but you need to get out there and look first. What the heck are we talking about? Well, we're talking about UFOs, everybody. There's a word for it in every single language around the world, and while our government wants to keep on mixing things up and change it from unidentified anomalous phenomena to, well, unidentified aerospace undersea phenomena, let them have it, because all they're trying to do is change the words so the government doesn't have to come and disclose their war against the phenomena that they've been raging for over 75 years. How do we know it? Just take a look. Every single video you see is from war. Every single video you see is from the military. There's nothing about science. There's nothing about exploration. It's all about war. Let's take it. Let's figure out how to blow things up. Let's take this technology and use it forever we possibly can. That's why we come together on Disclosure Tonight. Many days a week, not 7, not 6, 5, usually, maybe 4, depends on where it goes. But tonight's like no other, because you know what? We had a balloon incident last weekend, and we had another one happen right here in our backyard up in Alaska last night. What's going on? Well, the government's talking about it, and when usually that happens, these two bozos get out there, and they try to deny everything. While they're still denying, they're still talking a little bit more than it could be. What is it? What could it be? I don't know. It doesn't sound like a balloon this time. If it does, it sounds like a phallic one. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Disclosure Tonight. Happy freaking Friday. Would you look at that? Let's close down that little door on the camera and say good evening. Yes. How you doing, everybody? But wait. There's more. There is more. Would you look at that? Starting off the day already. You take a day off, and look what comes back. Holy cow. That's right, we got a super chat coming in. 2 of them, for gosh sakes. Holy cow, I take a day off and it starts to add up. Look at that. We've got frickin' Ant-Man coming in with frickin' $3. Frickin' party on, dudes. Absolutely. As well as another one coming in from Pam Harris. Some great frickin' stickers. I love it. Yes, it's a big wide world. Let's have some fun with it. And, Let's get down and have some fun. But wait a minute, this is not Get Out the Horns and Spaced Out Radio. That's later tonight. Maybe. If he didn't get abducted, we'll have to see where all that goes. But I want to welcome everybody in Disclosure Tonight. Remember, what a great way to support Disclosure Tonight. Hell, it's the only way to support Disclosure Tonight. That's right. Super chats come in, and every single dollar that we get goes back into the production of the show. We are 100% viewer supported, and I thank everybody for your love, your attention, for your donations. I am very humbled by everyone's love and support. Thank you very much. And on that note, let's go ahead and see who in the heck else we have out there. Thank you again, Ant-Man and Pam Harris. On that note, let's go ahead and see who else we have out there. Uh-oh. Wait. Stop it. It's on loop. Turn off the loop. There you go. All right. Metal Gaming. I am the first. Oh, wait. Where did he go? No, you are. I'm the first in line. Do I win a bag of coffee? Well, I've got I've got a big bag of 3 pounds of coffee beans in the refrigerator. On the counter, but it's not going to do so much good for my house. I'd have to have you stop by for a coffee. But, if you want to get Metal Gaming's autograph, just step back into the back left side of the studio. He'll be on the back left side of the studio this morning. Thanks for coming in again today, Metal Gaming, all the way from across the pond in Denmark. Lower myself down just a little bit there. Ooh, that felt good. It's Owen from Ohio. It's kind of odd after 10 days of hearing the word balloon every 5 minutes. They just didn't say they shot down another balloon. Yeah, we've got a bunch of cool video clips we're going to have to go and watch on this one, along with us the audience and our chat and our viewer calling in the back. The regulars are around, and maybe get some other ones around. You never know. Don't forget, people. I did pin it, right? Didn't I? No, I didn't pin it. Yeah, I did pin it. There it is, right up in the corner of the chat. If you're up for being a viewer calling in, go ahead and follow the link. You can show your beautiful face. If not, you can just hide behind your YouTube logo. How about that? Who else do we have out in the audience? It's Yellow Tommy Tanker, all the way from the United Kingdom, also known as Andy, saying hello. And would you look at that? Another super chat coming. I'm never going to get through this open, but I love you too, Shelly Montgomery. Holy cow, let's go ahead and kick that up. Would you look at that? I can't. It's a little big, but you know what? I like it big. The bigger it is, the easier it is to see on my eyes, especially for people on small phones. I want to thank everybody for your super chats and love. Most importantly, you're welcome, Shelly Montgomery. Glad I could be here tonight, as I can feel my face and ears and everything turning nice and red from that nice hot shower I had right before the show. Thank you again, Shelly, absolutely. And on that note, I wish I could leave that up, but I'm going to go ahead and welcoming other people in. But thank you very much, Shelly. We appreciate your love and support. Let's go ahead and continue on with that welcome. And let's see who else we have here. We've got a super chat train going. Holy cow. Almost missed it by that much. Let's see who else we have in the audience right now. It is Super Crazy Movie Geek. I always assumed that any ET craft would have shields or defenses of some kind to prevent damage, just like in the movies. Maybe not if they're not planning on getting shot down, but yeah, I kind of thought the same thing talking to West earlier today. Let's see who else we have out there. We've got a bunch of great conversations. There's been a lot of great conversations in the chat, like Super Crazy Movie Geek saying, as the intergalactic war has begun. They already confirmed that it's not a balloon. They said they don't know what it is or where it is from. And would you look at that? Another one coming in. This one from Mr. Catfish 2100. Another super chat saying, have a great show, everyone. I think we have a great show. Did everybody have a good week? I sure as heck hope you did. Yeah, it was busy. Lots of early morning meetings, but it's going to be that way from now on. For a while, for many months ahead of me. But you know what? The end of the result will be worth it. But it will. Just these bags will get a little bit bigger. I have to get Gary here to push in my bags so I can get to the show before that happens. Thank you again for that super chat, Mr. Catfish 2100. On that note, I'll just Phil. Another one's coming in saying, where's the flannel? What, you don't like the hoodie? I could do the Lou Jimenez hoodie and hide my whole face and neck. Well, I have a neck. See? And I have a chin. Whoops. Did I say that? Yes, I did. Where's the flannel? It's actually waiting for me in the dryer. Just had to wash them again, keep them nice and fresh. But, yeah. Keep it together. Let's have some fun and get on to that warm welcome. Thank you very much, Just Phil. Appreciate the continuation of the super chat train. Holy cow. Let's go ahead and see. We get another super chat coming in. This one is coming in from W. Decker. It's a super chat train. Let's hope the U.S. Air Force doesn't shoot that down, too. Yeah, that's a great idea, W. Decker. I never thought about that one before. I guess they could shoot us down, or they could be like some people, Rob, from other space, some other shows, Military Witness, who said they were getting, bugged, or their signal was getting interrupted and intercepted by the Air Force OSI. Highly not likely. There are a bunch of interesting folks down in Missouri. Trust me. Yeah, got to have some fun with it. All right. On that note, I think I can get back to the warm welcome again. Is it safe? Okay. I'll close it down. And away we go. Okay, here we go again. Owen from Ohio. Yes, I welcome you once. I'll welcome you a second time. Augustus 816. Was it the UAP they shot down this time? Biden starts intergalactic war. Yeah, like he'd even realize it. Well, here we go again. Happy Friday. Another one coming in from Owen from Ohio. Hey, you. Hey, you back. I can see you all the way in Ohio. Owen, by chance, could you be in Ohio? If so, I'm zooming in with you right now. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that. Hey, you back. Absolutely. Now, let's get to this open. I hope we can. What a wonderful day. I'll leave the music on just. So where else do we got coming in here today? All the way from Bill H, all the way from Discord land. Good to see you, Bill H. I can think I can take that, make it a little bit bigger now. There we go. One step beyond. You better believe it. 4 up is around. Still pushing that Kippin alien. Amazing. We'll have to see where that all goes, along with Susan Goff's time-traveling pangolins. I hope someone in Congress asks about UFOs and the Balloon Gate issue, and it actually gets covered. President Corn Pop, this is a disgrace. Happy Friday, everybody. Yeah. Did you see the other day he was walking around on the stage and he got confused and he put the mic down and was making noises. He put the mic down, came back, and just started mumbling into the mic. Poor guy. I feel so sorry for him. He's tried so hard, put so much into it, and just, getting a bit old, like Cupcake. She's my dog. I wonder if he'll start walking in circles. Well, we're pretty close to that stage. That's all right. Some days they'll give him meds, they'll be stronger, but the days following, he just falls apart. Poor guy. Upstate UAP faction. Howdy, Metal Gaming. Well, howdy back at you, Upstate UAP faction. Good to see hey to you too. Who else do we have out there? Jake Knotts from State Farm talking about some balloon clowns. But this apparently looked like a giant long shaft. Not a black one like we saw getting stolen from the bookstore in West Hollywood. No, this was a long silver one. Oh, I wonder if it could be the shaft from ChatGPT. You'd never know. Although Elon Musk wants to prevent things from his SpaceX, from his Starlink from getting weaponized. What is he afraid of? Starlink becoming... what is the one from... what do you call Terminator again, Gary? Skynet. Yes, thank you very much. I had to bring out Mr. Hollywood. And since I did, would you look at that? Who would you think is there? Did we bring him out from his lair? Yes, it is Gary. How the hell are you doing, Gary? It's a great surprise for the audience to have you here tonight. Oh, we're doing great. We are doing wonderful. He misses every time. Let me close that door. Oh, it doesn't take 15 seconds. We're actually pretty good. Audio, Gary. We can't hear Gary. What? You can't hear Gary at all. You got to be feckin' kidding me. Really? Well, of course they couldn't hear you. All right, let's try one more time. Gary, what did you say again?
Hello, this is Gary speaking. How are you? How is the audience? I am waiting now for you all to answer, and I will not let Thomas continue until every single one of you in here has answered. Go.
Oh, they can hear you now. Yes, Gary is here. Hi, Gary, as people are saying. I can't click on that one to make it pop up, but hey, it works. There you go. Bunch of hello, good. Hello, Gary. Hi, Gary. Hey, hello. Gary. Hello, Gary. Gary, hello. We are good, Gary. Hey, Shelley. Gary.
I am not in Alaska.
There you go. Well, I think that's where,
Thomas doesn't pay for me to go on location. Yes. I am not in Alaska.
LM says yellow. LM is in the back, and he's also in the chat. We're bringing it back. As well as I forgot to mention, Yellow Tommy Tanker is also known as Andy. He is in the back. He is in the chat, and he's in the back, and we'll be wheeling him out here as he got a big conk on the head by a big 30-pound package that was maybe coming from a adult bookstore. You never know.
But also, don't worry, everyone, because he had a bigger concussion from his own wall when he did this. See, I'm not letting him forget this. He walked into the wall.
After he got hit on the head?
No, this was before Christmas. He's probably forgotten about it.
No, well, yes. Oh, let's see if I can do this. He's got a big smile on his face right now, Andy.
I'm barely having trouble making words because of my migraine, so sentences.
Oh, no pills yet? Have you taken your pills yet?
I have, but nothing's working.
Have you drinking enough water today?
Yeah.
Have you had enough Pepsi and caffeine and
I
sugar
had
today?
the water with my Burger King.
Oh, that's what it was. It was Burger King again.
No, I had it before that.
Oh. Would you look at that, Sierra Multimedia? Hey, would you look at that? 38 Hong Kong dollars. Hong Kong.
Anyway, get on with it before the ice melts and that UFO falls through the lake.
Yes. Got a little... Hey, it's Sierra Multimedia's. Let's celebrate the first super chat from Sierra Multimedia. Thank you very much, Sierra Multimedia, all the way from Hong Kong. Yeah, I was watching a bunch of videos of Hong Kong back in late 2019. Remember the little street parties you guys are having back then? Oh, yeah, it was a great show to see everything and all the warm, welcoming fires you were putting out there for all the representatives from the mainland coming to visit and share their love and hugs and handcuffs and taking everybody away. Thank you for I actually have some good friends in near Shimshanpo. Just past, actually, the last station past. Yeah, I think it's Mongkok is where I. Yeah, Mongkok is not that one, Gary. Tiger Electronics. Yes, I believe they also went on from making Furby to making the Tiger. The Mycom famous Tiger rice machines. If you know what I'm talking about, the rice makers. They are some of the best. And of course, and the people who brought you Furby, believe it or not, they brought you the singing toothbrush.
Oh my God, have you seen that on Etsy? You can get Furbies that are like worms. Somebody creates like a worm body for them, but they've got Furby heads. It's
really? I've got a whole case of those. Would you look at that? Another super chat coming in this time from, believe it or not, Sierra Multimedia. Heads of those high-ranking officials in the military will eventually roll due to illegal deals with private companies, Lockheed, in an effort to recover technology into the private realm. Well, I hope so. Well, I'd like to see a whole bunch of heads roll, if you know what I mean, but that's okay. We'll get there eventually, and thank you very much for the wonderful super chats. Repeat super chats. Thank you, Sierra Multimedia. We appreciate your support more than you realize. On that note, shut that down. Let's try and get back.
Find this Furby and send it to you. So
I'll have to go up in the attic and find the case of Furbies I have. I did a bunch of work for Tiger Electronics
Furby
back in the day.
Worm search. I dread to think what's going to come up in my search now.
Yeah, let's move on. But if anyone understands the importance of the Mycom Tiger rice makers, let us know. I think I remember something. LM is talking about Han Solo, believe it or not. Let's get on to this. Who else do we have out in the audience? Upstate UAP faction is around. Augustus 816. I think I welcomed you before, but I'm just losing track of where the heck I'm at right now. So I'm going to start walking in circles like Cupcake. John Dillinger, it's a BFO. Big fucking object? We'll figure it out. An object, yes. I guess we're getting close. Thor Pancho, thank you for coming in, Thor. Good to see you again tonight. Who else do we have out there in the audience? Oh, so scroll on. Mal is around. Hey, Mal, how you doing? Good to see you tonight. With spying and stuff happens regular, and if they catch an asset, they don't tell the public. I'm surprised they even acknowledge this. You know, as if guys take topography, I'd what's under a sheet. Yeah.
Sheet.
I think I got it. No, I don't. Oh, who else do we have in the audience? Jan is before the middle today because I'm going so late today. Good to see you, Jan. LM is coming in. I just got to the first super chat with Ant-Man for $3. Let's continue on. Holy cow.
I think I speak for everyone here when I say get on with it.
I know. LM came in with another super chat. This one for no words, no nothing. LM is in the chat, and he's in the back. We'll be bringing him out here shortly, and he's also part of the supporters of the show tonight. Thank you very much, LM. Appreciate your love and support. My God. Had some good tweets I shared with you today. An interesting one. Maybe we'll talk about that one in a bit as well. Let's see if I can scroll down again and pick up where the hell I was at. I saw Digger Dog. Yes. We watched the dig today. Do they have a Digger Dog on there? No, they don't. Interesting. Christian Morales, hello. Good to see you. Feigenschau, 87. How the hell are you? Daryl Zernick, Mr. Live Long and Prosper as always. Mr. Catfish, 2100. Europe. You better believe it. Oh, let's scroll away with the half sachet. Eli McGinnis, car size like a Fiat, like a Fist 500. No. Or a Chevy Suburban. You never know what it's going to be until you get there. Holy cow. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Eli. And by the way, Eli, do us a favor. Pour one for the audience. On me for once. Remember, just don't stream and drive, everybody. Trust me, it can get really messy. I know. Amiga rules. Good to see Amiga. What about the Atari 520 ST? Yes, the Amiga rules. I have to give it to you, that one. Holy cow. Sierra Multimedia just joined all the way from Hong Kong. Cool. We'll bring you up in a second, Sierra. Let's continue on. Zig Ziglar. Good to see you. Thanks for coming around, Zig. L is Secretor, a.k.a. Renee. Hey, Renee. Heard CNN's Aaron Burnett claim that this explains all the UFO sightings in a passing statement today with a lieutenant general. Sounds like Aaron Burnett from CNN. Really high shelf thought process there. Marcus Mandel, good to see you, my friend. Long time no see. Eddie Alviera, hello, fellow listeners. Mr. Catfish. Got some fans, Catfish. How about that? Yep, he knows it. Jenny Novak, happy Friday to you. Followed by Melissa Renee Morris. Crazy shit today. I was going to say cat crazy shit today. Just watch out for those Tootsie Rolls. Is it a Tootsie Roll or not? You never know. Don't ever take that challenge because you might be wrong. Upstate UAP faction. Oh, would you look at that? Just in time for me to go ahead and I plugged this in earlier today. It's Peggy with Crockett and Tubbs all the way from Florida. Considering it's 43 up today, I was actually feeling like 50 here for a while. Hey, Google, what's the temperature in Florida?
In Miami, it's currently 75 degrees.
High of 79, low of 72. It's 72 and clear right now. Actually, it's 75 and clear. Perfect night when the show's out to go ahead and look up and see if there's if you got some peepers above you watching you close. You never know. They could be peepers. It kind of feels like they're peepers almost. There we go. Fix this. All right, make it there. All right, Ryan is here. Brian is here from Our Ranch Airgun Fun Channel. Happy frickin' Friday to my fellow Earthlings. You better believe it, sir. Gotta have some fun. Oh, Matija. He called it a balloon for her, an object, a craft, an unidentified, all at the same time. It's like, when does the DOD ever stumble for words? Usually they'll say like it's nothing. There's nothing there, right? Am I talking? You understand what I'm talking about, Melissa? Renee Morris? Exactly. Welcome to the show. Good to see you. Heidi T. Happy Friday. Absolutely. Who else do we have in the audience? Oh, gosh, it's happening again. Oh, here we go. Just in that time. London calling. Royal Morning Blue, come in. This is Sparrowhawk. Are you there? Hello? London calling. Good to see you, London calling. Good to have you around. Would you look at that? Got another super chat on top of that. It's happening. Royal Morning Blue, London calling. Good seeing you again, my friend, of course. And Susan Goes, time traveling pangolins. Welcome to the show, everybody. Thanks for coming in. I can't believe all the love and support today. Remember, everything that comes in from these wonderful super chats goes back into our production of Disclosure tonight. We are fan funded, and I am so humbled by everyone's love and support. Happy Friday. I hope it was a good one for you as well. You know, it's not completely over in most places. We know it's long gone in the United Kingdom. It's 10:28 p.m. on the East Coast. Gary, what time is it in the United Kingdom right now, my friend?
It's 3:30.
3:30. Wow. Yeah, that's an early one. My goodness. What a dedicated friend you are. Holy cow. The Novus wanderers around Missouri, the Poke Me State. Yeah, isn't that the place where that one guy from UAPX was from? Yeah, it's more like Pokem State. Mike T, good evening, my friend. Good to see you. Who else is in the audience tonight as the audience is building? Holy cow. Let's see if I can get through this. Scroll. Daryl Zernick, we know. Live long and prosper. Again, let's get through this. Novus Wanderer, I think I've welcomed you, but I don't remember. W. Decker, of course, is in the chat, and he's in the back, and he's throwing some super chats our way. And by the bouncing of the recliner in front of me, I believe the cupcake awakens. Let's see if I can go ahead and do I have it here somewhere? Let's take a look and see. The cupcake. She has her head up and she is moving. Sorry, Gary, I've got you blocked with the cupcake, but this is an important thing. I need to keep an eye on her. Put her up here. There we go. If she's going to get up and move around, I need to jump and get her before she falls down and goes boom. Super Crazy Movie Geek, good to have you here as well. Oh, let's move on. I think okay. Joe Monk is around. Couldn't hear Jerry, just the screaming of the hooker standing next to him. Jerry Springer, maybe? I think so. Edison Vintage, good to see you, Edison. Who else? The Observer is around. All right, as we get near the bottom, 2/3, 3/4 of the way, 3/4 of the way through it. Rachel Beal, hey WD, W Decker. That's not Western Digital as in hard drives, right? No, WD, W Decker. You never know. I do have a box of hard drives I brought out. Bunch of cool stuff that I found. Holy cow. You forget about stuff after a while. I was cute when I was young, my God. A little rascal, you better believe it. UFO in Akron, Ohio. Welcome to the show, my friend. You're new here. Welcome. I think you're new. If I can find you somewhere, I'll go ahead and make you. Fab22 is here already. I see you in the other part of the chat here. Holy cow, it's 4:30 in the morning there. Not that long since 4:20. Hopefully you're nice and warm for the day. Who else do we have in the audience? Melissa Renee Morris. Maybe I've welcomed you before. Lorenzo G. How the hell are you? The Novus Wanderers around. Holy cow. Eddie. Well, we already got you, Eddie. Sorry. And I think we're getting near the bottom of this. Roland Samara. You're new. Welcome, I think. Unless you've changed your name. It's a new name, I think. The object was a large as a small car, yet Pat claims it was unmanned as it was too small. Pat, as in time for androgyny, Pat? I got allergies. No, probably not. But not everything is on human scale, because there are really short humans too. Remember, there's not just tall people. That's Larry Schultz. All the UFO, even before the man-made flight, tomobserver.org. Hello from New Jersey. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. You know, you hear from New Jersey, people. We've got no one here. Mike from New York. Where did he go? I don't know. Wasn't around last night either. I hope he's feeling all right, Mike. You never know. Oh, First Contact. It was a promotional balloon for Lou Elizondo's forthcoming book. Well, I don't think so. That's a little bit oily because that's not going to be coming out till like August of this year sometime. Kevin Clark, so there's a 12-pound limit payload for weather balloons. Seems to me this fits the size. So, yeah, the last one had like, was it the payload was the size of 3 buses? Big buses, not short, not like special ed buses, full length, like coach buses. And they actually found that thing today, and they're getting ready to raise it. They have to bring a crane in to pull it up off the floor of the ocean. Luckily, it's mostly intact. We'll see what they find out about it. If it had a self-destruct mechanism, you never know where it's going to go. Jimmy McKillop, cell phone cinema. What am I, Popeye or something? Simina. Ass man. Yo, people, what's up? Well, maybe the ass is up in the air is a good thing. You never know. Mark Kyle, good to see you. Hey, Thomas, 36 degrees here in Oz. Oh, he heard. It works, Fab. See, the trick is you say Mike 3 times, and it's like the genie. He appears. How you doing, Mike? He's here, but he's silent. He's in protest. I got him up. Got him to come in. All right. On that note, we made it.
Up. I said, hi, Thomas. How was your day off?
Oh, it was wonderful. It was wonderful, Mike. Thanks for asking. How was your day off?
Oh, quite well, actually. It's nice to take a day off sometimes.
Oh, you're telling me.
Recharge your batteries. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, if you saw the picture we put up on the channel last night of Cupcake, I was like there chilling, and she was like sleeping right on my chest, and there's like, screw this shit. I am so glad I did not have last night's show, because it just shows that I need to have that time to enjoy it while she's around.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You have to enjoy the time while it's here. I told you that.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for stopping in tonight. I appreciate it.
Oh, Thomas, you call, I come. That's how it works.
Oh, yeah. All right. Also, since we're introducing the people in the back of the audience to go ahead and talk about this great subject today, we also have Andy, Yell Tommy Tanker, also known as Andy. Andy, how the heck are you?
Yeah, hi, Thomas. Yeah, not too bad today. Interesting day in many, many ways.
Yeah. Yeah, how's your head?
Oh, yeah, it's not too bad. No sense, no feeling.
There you go.
Is that no complaints so far? But
yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's over here.
Yes, what an interesting day in the news.
Well, it started last night. Apparently, I was sitting in my house to see one night when all of a sudden I had a fright, and I started getting this vibration and this feeling.
I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. For my monster from the slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he ate me.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, it was one of those things. I was sitting watching TV with Gary, and I got this vibration going through my body, and it's like, what the hell's going on? And it just was strong, and I kind of felt like it was going through my body, and the whole thing was going, and I put my hand on my leg, and it's like, oh, it's not just the vibration going through me. My body is literally vibrating. It wasn't like a shaking, I was cold or something. It was a vibration going through me, and it's supposedly, we actually documented the time from it last night. And Gary, what happened at that time? Give or take?
Apparently, it was around the time that mysterious craft had entered U.S. airspace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll see what it is eventually, one way or the other. But I hope you're feeling better, Andy.
Yeah, I'm good.
Excellent. Also in the back today, we've got LM. Lee, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I was multitasking today. Missed a lot of the news, but I caught up quick. I was at a track meet for my son. It's his senior year, so he's
nice.
Final track season, heading off to the Marines after he's done with high school. So
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting to say the least. Hopefully he'll make it better than a year and a half.
Oh no, he's gonna be a career guy.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't doubt it. Great to hear that. Absolutely. Thanks for coming in tonight, Lee. Also on the list, we've got Larry Gurnt. Larry, how are you, my friend?
Oh, very good. Very good, Thomas. I mean, all things considered. I didn't get to take a shower like you did, but I'm going to do that later. I'm going to cut out early tonight and try to do the second part of my deep dive on Mount Sinai.
Not Mount Cyanide. Mount Sinai.
No.
Gotcha.
That's something else.
Shit. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that, Larry. So no pressure.
Oh, yeah.
There is a disturbance in the force. Sorry, Gary. I'm going to have to put Cupcake down by you there. She is moving. Okay. We'll get through this in a second. All right, Larry, thank you for coming in today, my friend, and also coming in after Larry. And we have a first-timer here, Sierra Multimedia. Sierra, how are you?
Hey there, guys. Actually, I joined a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, I just saw the news on social media, and I was like, I need to go into YouTube and see who's reporting about this. And sure enough, there's Thomas getting ready for the live. So I was like, yep, I'm going to tune in. I might need to leave earlier today because I need to do some stuff. I need to go to Shamshui Paul, right, Thomas?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Are you going to the Golden Computer Market?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's where I buy all my computer parts. I'm not originally from Hong Kong, but I moved over here because here's where I work. I'm a creative director for a video game company, so I make video games. Yep, but I'm a full fan of the UFO topic, and I'm a disclosure warrior. So I'm hoping that sometime eventually we'll get all this information from the government to be like presented straight to the public, because I'm tired of that, like, we don't know what it is bullshit. Like, we all know they know, right?
Yeah.
So Sierra, I read a lot of research papers, and there's a whole lot of research coming out of Hong Kong in conjunction with the United States, MIT, Stanford, and everybody. I'd be interested to know if you know anything about that.
I'm not aware, but yeah, I mean, feel free to shoot me any kind of this information that you have, because I would love to look into it.
So are you artist, developer, designer, or producer?
Well, actually, I'm a 3D designer, but I also have a background on visual effects. So I used to do visual effects for commercials and, that green screen good thing, and then particle simulations and 3D rendering and all that stuff. But now I moved on as a creative director. So now I just manage a team of 3D designers and make sure that all the good work is pushed and the deadlines are met. And all that good stuff. Yeah.
All that good stuff, and motivational, and try to get them to hit their deadlines, and keeping you motivated at the same time. And yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
But yeah, it's very fun. It's very challenging at the same time. I would say it's more fun to play the games than making them, but gotta pay the
I actually
bills.
see it, just to take it in the opposite direction. I actually find it more fun to make them than actually play them. And every time I ever get starting to play games again, I'll go off and stop making them, because I figured, why am I just playing something when I can make something that so many people would have a fun time playing?
Yeah, that's a good way to see it. But when the deadlines are over your head, then it's not that fun yet.
Oh, yeah.
I know what that feels.
Oh, I know about that. I used to be called a slave driver back in the day, because we had deadlines and we had dates and we had deliverables we had to hit. And if production wasn't going as fast as it could, sometimes you had to bring in the barrels of the midnight oil to keep the team going. Well, thanks for coming inside, Sierra Multimedia. And then lines us up, last with W. Decker. West, how are you, my friend?
Doing great. Welcome, Sierra Multimedia, and good to see everybody. I'm excited about tonight's show. I've been watching this stuff all day, and I think we might have some good opportunities to, I think, use your 3D Earth map that you were showing us with the winds, because I think we might want to take a look at the winds aloft over Alaska, and we might see they weren't blowing in the right direction to keep an object where it was sitting. So,
all right. Do we want to do that? We'll do that after our first clip of the video. Sure. And as I can see, Cupcake is awake, and she is looking around now. If we zoom into the Cupcake cam for one brief second, let's take a look. Yeah, there she is, slowly waking up from her nap. Man, she was so tired this afternoon, like a little kid. She wanted to keep on walking around, and then when she went to sit down, and she was too tired to get up again, she was whining, barked once like a little kid would, saying, "Help, I can't get up." Eventually, I got her to lay down, but it looks like, yeah, she is waking up. It's something about that loud voice that I have, apparently. Just cuts right through it. All right, on that note, let's go ahead and take a jump over into the desktop area. And we've got our first video queued up here from the ACK channel, believe it or not. Coming in from YouTube. This is coming in from Sky News earlier today. Wait, I'm covering up the audio, the chat. Let's do that. It was fine before. What did I have to screw with it? Let's just do it that way. Bring it in a little bit more. I don't have to worry about that. All right. On that note, let's go ahead and play this, shall we? Fingers crossed we have audio.
A US fighter jet has shot down an unidentified flying object flying in US airspace over Alaska.
Okay, you did hear that, right?
Yes.
We shot down an unidentified flying object.
President Biden authorized the shooting down of the object, which landed in US territorial waters. The Pentagon gave this update a short while ago.
The object was flying at an altitude of 40,000 feet and posed a reasonable threat to the safety of civilian flight. U.S. Northern Command is beginning recovery operations now. We have no further details about the object at this time, including any description of its capabilities, purpose, or origin. The object was about the size of a small car, so not similar in size or shape to the high-altitude surveillance balloon that was taken down off the coast of South Carolina on February 4.
Well, our US correspondent Mark Stone is in Washington, D.C. for us. And Mark, what more do we know about what actually happened?
Well, a little, but not much. The Pentagon spokesman, Pat Ryder, who you heard from there, was not willing to give much more information, perhaps because he doesn't have it or perhaps because they're just waiting. What we do know, though, is that it was first spotted yesterday, last night, and jets were sent up to look at it, to get a closer look at it last night. President Biden was informed then. The jets returned today, two F-22 fighter jets, the same type of jets that were used 6 days ago to take down the Chinese surveillance balloon. One missile was fired at 1:45 this afternoon and took this object out of the sky, and it's now lying, we understand, on frozen waters north of Alaska, in a pretty hard to reach area, and there is an attempt now to recover whatever it was, but they would not be drawn on what sort of object it was. The spokesperson said he believed that it was not manned, but certainly leaving open the possibility that it could be. What is not clear is why they're not able to tell us just a little bit more about what it looked like, because clearly the pilots of the jets got a close look at it twice, last night and again today, and were able to shoot it down. So there must be more detail that we don't yet have that I imagine will come. But crucially...
So if they looked at it twice, his exact words, right? If they looked at it twice, we have to ask the question seriously. What did it look like?
Well, they did give us a description on ABC News that it was silver and cylindrical with no visible means of propulsion.
Cylindrical, like a cigar?
Sounds like a Tic Tac.
Well, could be. Cylindrical is more like a cylinder. Tic Tac is short. Cylindrical is usually longer, but could be a Tic Tac kind of a thing.
I mean, if you think of the size of the Tic Tac that Fravor described, it was the same size as a small car.
Okay, there you go. There you go. I did not know that. I did, but yeah. Interesting to say the least. So I'm clicking on the wrong window. Yeah, it's interesting. Let's continue on with this clip. We've got a couple other to get to.
No direct link is being drawn with China at the moment. And we also learnt that there was no contact with China either before or after this object was taken down.
Okay, Mark, thank you for that update.
All right, that is the first clip that we've got here today. So that was the first breaking news. Wait. That was the first breaking news we had earlier today. You were saying, Larry?
I'm sorry to cut in. I just wanted to say that I really appreciate that guy's question. You know, he's like, hey, they had to have seen it. Why can't they tell us what it looked like? Really appreciate that. I don't know if that's something unique to England, but where is it? Is that from England?
Yeah, that's from United Kingdom. That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, it is. I recorded it myself this morning.
Yeah, I don't see that kind of pressing from our journalists.
No, we're not, are we?
Lap up whatever they're fed.
Right.
Well, I mean, who pays their checks, Larry?
Yeah. True. Now we've got that was the first breaking story we had. Where do we want to go next? To the Pentagon?
But it was interesting. She actually said out loud, unidentified flying object, which was amazing.
The
follow-up. The Senator Murkowski one next from the Google chat, because that one is when she mentions the word entity.
Right. But we have another one from...
Oh, the other Sky News one?
The other Sky News one first, yeah?
Sure.
Okay, let's go through that. Next one coming to us from Sky News, and we've got another one, and another one, and another one. Let's go ahead and play this one next.
In the meantime, a U.S.
Bring it up. All right, here we go.
jet has shot down an unidentified object.
Wait, hold on
flying
a
in
second. We can see it, hear it, but we can't see it. There, let's take it back again. Here we go.
In the meantime, a U.S. fighter jet has shot down an unidentified object flying in airspace over Alaska. President Biden authorized the shooting down of the object, which landed in U.S. territorial waters. The Pentagon gave an update on the object a short time ago.
The object was flying at an altitude of 40,000 feet and posed a reasonable threat to the safety of civilian flight. U.S. Northern Command is beginning recovery operations now. The object was about the size of a small car, so not similar in size or shape to the high-altitude surveillance balloon that was taken down off the coast of South Carolina on February 4.
U.S. correspondent Mark Stone is in Washington, D.C. for us this evening. Any more that you can tell us at all about what actually happened?
Well, this is a very extraordinary development, and there is strikingly little that we are being told about what this object was. Clearly, the US Air Force had good sight of it because they were able to determine that at 40,000 feet it was about the size of a car. But was it a balloon? Was it a drone? Was it manned? Was it unmanned? They think it was unmanned, but don't seem absolutely sure about that. So there's a lot we don't know, and they do not want to draw any links with China. Of course, it's 6 days since a much larger balloon at a higher height was shot down off South Carolina. They are drawing no links with China at the moment here. There has been no contact with the Chinese, which I think is interesting. As for the object itself, well, it's now on water which is frozen north of Alaska. So a recovery operation is underway, we are told, but we don't know how long that will be. So a quite extraordinary development this afternoon. 1:45 was when these two fighter jets took to the skies of Alaska and took out this object, but we know strikingly little about what it was.
Mark, thank you very much for that update.
All right, so that's our second update. Again,
if you read between the lines on that, he's constantly going, they're not telling us stuff that's weird as shit.
So we've got some clarity of what potentially it looked like coming to us from, begrudgingly, from the military.
And they're rolling out China as well, which was interesting. And
well,
they didn't even contact them.
Or are they trying to play it a little bit safe with China, potentially trying to keep the whole conversation down instead of trying to point it down? Because
what was interesting was I watched CNN as well, and CNN were like, it's China, Chinese have sent this, China. But yet over here it was like, no, they haven't said it's China, so it probably isn't.
I can just hear someone say China.
But in contrast to Gary's point about what the Sky News people were saying, I watched the 30-minute Pentagon briefing, and they were real clear that this was not China or anyone. They don't know who it was. Somebody even directly questioned them and asked them, how is it that you could identify the Chinese balloon and its point of origin last week, but you can't tell us the point of origin of this object this week? And he simply said, all I can tell you is that it appeared on our radar 24 hours ago and has been loitering over northern Alaska, and we sent fighters to check it out, and it's a different size and shape, and there was no visible expulsions.
That's what he said in the clip we're going to listen to?
No, the clip, well, if you got the whole thing, then yes.
Oh, we're gonna watch it, my friend. We've got 2 hours to cover
Sorry,
this.
I didn't know you were doing the whole thing.
You go, Thomas.
Oh, I know. Hold on.
I didn't mean actually leave.
No. My light every so often I lose.
Do that again, Larry. I need that power. How do you do that?
No, every so often the light just kind of freaks out and it loses all of its warmness to it, and it gets cold and too bright. And I'm probably too not bright enough at this point. Fuck it, it's good enough. I'll deal with it later. All right, let's now from there. Now we've got a really interesting clip that was shared by W. Decker coming from
Spoiler.
Murkowski.
Oh yeah. So this was her on BBC.
Oh, that's not. Oh God. It's Murkowski and Susan Collins. Collins didn't have anything to say about it, did she?
No.
Damn.
Decker, can I interject? Do we know where they scrambled the fighter jets from? Did they scramble them from the Joint Air Force Base in Alaska?
Yeah, it was some base that begins with an M. I can't recall right off the top of my head, but yeah.
So that's the United States Air Force that they scrambled it from. I'm just trying to like help people understand like the logical like where they scrambled the fighters from.
Yeah, and
I think that actually is important. Just in my opinion, and there's a whole lot more to that I think about that. But at the same time, it'd be nice to know if they just scrambled it locally from Alaska, from an Air Force base, to take care of it, or if this was scrambled from somewhere else. I don't know.
Scrambled with eggs, maybe.
Directed by U.S. North Command.
Interesting to say the least.
That's the language that they used when
What
you
actually
described.
happened?
Okay. On that next one, let's go on to our next clip here. Some interesting clips coming, things from the audience saying, the observers saying, maybe they're here to watch World War III. Yeah, I hope not. But we are pissing off people on both.
And maybe now pissing them off too.
Well, we've pissed off the Chinese not shooting down their spy balloon, which they said wasn't a spy balloon, but we'll soon find out as soon as they raise up the gear from the bottom of the ocean. Now we blew out another one of their freaking balloons. And then we found out that we blew up stuff, potentially the Nord Stream 2. Whoops. Did we do that? Oh my God.
Yes, we did.
I know. Oh, and then now they're shooting them over. Yeah, it's going to get really messy really soon. Get used to higher prices. All right, let's move on to the next video clip, shall we? I think I've got it here, and I should be able to paste it and bring it in.
More on this. We're joined.
All right, here we've got. Oh, wow.
Thomas, we lost your volume.
No, I didn't say anything. Did you still lose me?
Nope, I can hear you. Sorry, I thought you were talking.
No, I was just leaning in to see her freaking. Well, that face over there, I was like, what the hell am I looking at? Okay. She definitely doesn't have the Madonna look going, even though she is old.
From Washington tonight by Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski.
Wait, am I in Chrome? No, I'm in Safari. I just turned it down. Let me go ahead and turn up a little bit louder for me. Here we go. One more time.
Senator, have you been briefed on this object, and can you share your level of concern over what it may represent?
Yes, I just returned from a classified brief. I had an opportunity to connect with the head of the Alaska Command, General Nahom, and I received the update. I am concerned. We saw just this week this high altitude balloon and being shot down off the waters of South Carolina. But today, to know that we have yet another unidentified object successfully shot down in Alaska, making sure that the message is clear that any sovereign territory or airspace in this country, if there's a threat, if there's an incursion, there's going to be consequences.
Yeah, let me ask you, you were unhappy over how the Chinese...
Wait a second. We've been having incursions over our military aircraft for years. Yep. And now they're saying, oh, it's Chinese drones or whatever it is. And we didn't do anything about that. How do you...
Well, those were just our nukes, Thomas.
No, those aren't those were our nuclear-powered craft. Remember, we had the USS Russell, the USS Kearsarge, all those carrier group, off the west coast of the United States that got swarmed potentially by Chinese drones in 2019, and we did nothing.
Hell, we had UFOs flying over Washington, D.C. back in the 50s.
Yeah, at least we scrambled jet fighters and blew a chunk off one of them.
Yeah, there you go. I guess we're back to that mode.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, what about that incident where there was UFOs flying over this nuclear facility, and then they shut down all the ballistics, the missiles. What was that incident called?
That was in the Maelstrom. Was it North Dakota?
Yeah, that's the one.
I think it was in North Dakota. It was anywhere out there somewhere in the west, the north. Not quite Canada though, but yeah. They turned ours off. They didn't damage it. They were sending a message. But I love the message they gave to the Russians even more. And these were missiles that were in Ukraine, by the way, when this took place. That was before Russia broke apart. Yeah, they took the Russian ones and they activated them all and started the countdown sequence, and the Russians couldn't stop it, and they were freaking out and panicking. See how the United States, they apparently must be observing us enough to know how we'll react and what they need to do to make us listen and comply. So there's truly some intelligence from these things. All right, quick thing I want to thank. Not that one. Well, a super chat that came in from Ozark Craft saying, would the government really make this public if there was any chance that it could not be man-made? Or are we witnessing the drip of all drips? I don't know, but I'm digging the echo I'm getting in the studio, but I don't know. It's hard to tell at this point. Something we'll have to work through and figure out and see where it's going to go. I think the government has been, well, if they're going to call it China and they're going to deny it's China, I think Congress and the American people are maybe waking up to this whole thing and waking up to the cover up and what's happening. Yeah, AVM, I agree. Maybe she is sick of the UFO cover-up. I couldn't agree with you more. The Observer is saying that I guess we'll find out when it's 70 years or so from now. I certainly hope so. Hope not, Observer. Oh my God. Yeah, let's go ahead and.
You're being a little optimistic there, Observer.
Yeah.
You're being too optimistic.
Yeah.
It'd probably be more like 140 years.
What
like
is
JFK thing.
I hope not.
Yeah. Thomas, great show tonight. Listening while I shower. Yes, watching all those stressful feelings down the drain. It's a good thing. And yeah, it could have been too much information, especially with that picture I just visually put out there for everybody. What made you so dirty, Tim? Gotta have some fun with it, Mike. You look nice and clean when you were on the dig earlier tonight. My God, I couldn't tell that you didn't shower then, unless something else happened. But either way, thanks for coming out tonight, Tim. Always great having you around. Let's continue on with this video clip.
Which also flew over Alaska, was dealt with by the administration last week. Are you satisfied with how today's object was handled?
I think there was a level of precision and identification that was necessary and important to successfully take down this unidentified object. I understand that we're perhaps dealing with different entities here between the high altitude balloon and what was taken down. But again, what you have is a threat to our sovereignty. So, yeah, we need to move first, and quite honestly, the first line of defense, again, is Alaska. If it comes into Alaska airspace, if it comes over Alaska waters, we need to act. We need to send the message, and we need to be clear and unequivocal that we don't tolerate this, period.
All right. Well,
man, she's got some deep eyes going there. If I can, there we go.
Did you catch her say the difference between these entities?
Yes, we did, but I have to find one thing here. Oh, there's that one thing. I'll bring it up in a second. I need to bring up and I need to find a clip
That's
here.
the same face I had when the Sky News alert come up on my phone saying an unidentified flying object had been shot down.
Holy shit.
One other quick thing. The other senator for Alaska tweeted earlier that this was the third UFO incursion over Alaska in the last couple of weeks.
I can see Russia.
Oh, here we go. This is a 2-second clip. Remember Sarah Palin? Well, different Sarah Palin. Of course. She was from Alaska.
I can see Russia from my house.
I think Ellen's got his hand raised.
That sign. Would you believe there's actually 239 people watching us right now? This is something a lot of people are interested in, and holy cow.
Hillary Clinton.
All right, Rick Roberts came in as well. Interesting show tonight. A lot of people out there. Do me a favor. If you're having a good time, give us a thumbs up. And if you're not, go ahead and give us a thumbs down. I'll take it either way. Hopefully it's one of these and not one of these, but either way, it shows interaction from our audience. If you're having a good time, if you're not having a good time, and give us a thumbs down, at least give us some comments and feedback in the comment form below, and we'll do our best to improve the show for you. Let's see. Who's got their hands up first? Rumor has it. Let's see where it's at. LM, you've got your hands up, my friend. Or is it W. Decker first? Go first.
No, that's okay. First of all, I just wanted to say I love the audience participation. You guys jump in. Love to hear what you have to say. I view this. I don't know what this is. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. I'm not sure if I ever can. I see this as a T-ball win. There's a reason why there's things going on up there, and our United States government and all the powers that be that are involved in the moment needed something solid, fast-acting, and quick to show to the public that they have this under control.
Yes. I would hope so. I would hope so. Rick Roberts?
A longtime troll, first-time caller. So it's interesting that this is coming up, and I know you guys might have talked about this before, but it's interesting that the media is bringing this up because the other balloon, they knew about far in advance. They watched it all travel before it hit the media. This one hits the media, it's in Alaska. Who's paying attention to Alaska? No one. And they're already reporting it. So is this a tipping point for World War III for them to say we want to slap China and we're going to set out the boundaries for China? Or is this UFO? I'm thinking this is going to go one or two ways. There's no in between. It's either going to be set the precedence for China that we're not going to allow their stuff in our airspace, or it's disclosure. Thoughts?
Yeah. Take it, Larry. Or whoever's talking, go for it.
Oh, this is West. Sorry, I was going to say, this might be a good time to bring up your map, Thomas, and talk about where this thing was shot down, because it's not like the trajectory of that last balloon that, like you just mentioned, Rick, where it traveled clearly from China, and you could trace the trade winds and how it came across. This was shot down over the northern part of Alaska, and according to the Pentagon, was on a northeasterly heading, which means it was not heading for the continental United States. It was heading towards the Arctic.
So we're kind of talking Alaska, right?
Yep. So it's up near the very top.
Up in here?
Yep.
All right.
Exactly. Like
so you can see, let's take the start going up. That's at the surface. Let's go up 1,000 feet.
So what's supposed to be our takeaway from this? If it's not moving and it's not moving over the U.S., we're on it. Like, we got it. Don't worry, guys. We got it. Done.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it, is it didn't actually, and in fact, the threat to civilian aviation is a little bit of a stretch, because now you do have that route that if you're flying, for instance, from Paris to Tokyo, you would fly over Alaska around that. You fly over the North Pole, basically. So that could have interfered with some traffic, but the big takeaway for me is that, according to the government, this thing didn't have the size to be a giant weather balloon that could stay aloft in high altitudes. It was staying over Alaska, hovering in an area that, where you look at the winds, it should have gotten pushed into the United States or into Canada, but instead was heading north against the prevailing winds, or at least crossways to the winds.
Right, because if the winds are going off the top part of Canada, you can see it'd be going and dipping down potentially.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a steady wind, even just if we were to take it down to the surface itself, You can see it's going in a particular way. That's down from the surface, and you go back up high again, you can see in the direction it's potentially flowing in. So if it's remaining stationary with winds aloft at this point, you have to wonder what's truly going on. How is it able to actually keep it from just moving with the wind?
Yeah. And since there are no winds, when at least I checked, there were no winds at any altitude that were actually heading northeast.
Right.
All winds are coming, crosswinds or south. So
Yeah. Royal Morning Blue brings up they should have clear Air Force footage for us. Yes, if they went and the fighter pilots saw it twice and they did go off and they, it's just not going to be by their eyes. There are plenty of signals intelligence on the particular craft to go ahead and see it. More importantly, the United States Air Force has technology to see everything from the size of a grapefruit, as actually at the size of a grapefruit, from the surface out to beyond the moon. So unless it's something that isn't going to be picked up on radar, they should have had some good signals intelligence besides just the plane. But if they had I guess they saw something and then they had to put up planes to go ahead and check out what they were actually observing.
Hey, Thomas, I also, I don't know if you can easily pull up, but Joe Murgia on Twitter had an interesting quote from a retired NASA engineer, Larry Lemke, who works with Gary Nolan and Jacques Vallée. And there's a really interesting quote that you might want to pull up, or I can read it if you'd prefer.
Is it easy to find? Joe.
Andy, jump in.
Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, you're talking about the wind speeds and everything. Now, I think Owen from Ohio said they did announce a speed that this thing was traveling at, but I've not heard. They said the height it was at and the size of the object. They did not say, or that I've caught in the news that we've got over here, any kind of speed that it was traveling at.
Yeah, I haven't heard a speed either.
That's interesting to me, because why would they not say a speed? They've given two very strong.
Here we go. I've got it. I've got
That's kind of addressed in this quote. I think you'll see.
I've got the tweet here. Let me go ahead and blow this up so we can take a quick look at it. This is coming from the UFO Joe, also named as Joe Maguria, over on Twitter. What is Joe saying today? Here are Larry Lemke's thoughts on the object being shot down today. So let me center this a little bit so everybody can see it. Retired NASA engineer Larry Lemke, who works with Gary Nolan, Jacques Vallée, and also Creon Levitt, and myself, wrote about the alleged cylinder that the U.S. F-22 pilot just shot down over Alaska. Quote, interesting that it was first spotted yesterday, but it was shot down today. It was hanging around the area. If it was flying by simple Newtonian mechanics, it would not have been capable of staying aloft all of that time, especially because it seems it has no wings. Also, the F-22 pilot is reported have flown alongside of it, so it must have been moving at jet-like speeds. So, if it either landed and took off somewhere nearby and or is capable of staying aloft much longer than it did, definitely suspicious. Interesting to say the least. And I think we've got your thoughts on that, anybody, as I go ahead and get the next video clip up here for us to check out.
You also have the super chat that snuck by.
Oh, yeah. Which one was that? Did I get it? I miss it? May have had it. I may have brought it up. Did not say anything about it. Yeah, would you look at that? Holy cow, we got a couple to snap by. Holy cow. Let's go ahead and thank everybody for that. Holy shit. Let's kick that off again. We got a couple super chats coming in. Okay, first one from Ozark Craft. Would the government really make this public if there was any chance that this could not be man-made? I think I said this one before. Are we witnessing the drip of drips? And then coming in from Gavin Smith saying, I wonder if this is the Tesla we sent into outer space being sent back to us after the aliens gave it service. Or is this the craft coming back to us and saying, no, buddy, try again. We've got something much better than this. Stop polluting our outer space.
I can answer that one, Gavin. There's actually a website where you can track where that Tesla is, and it's currently in Mars's orbit.
Really?
Well, it's not orbiting Mars, but it's currently at the distance of Mars's orbit, and will be heading back to us in 55 years or something.
Wow. Interesting to say the least. Hopefully that doesn't bam into an asteroid, which bams into another asteroid. Before you know it, we've got a video game and a rain of fire coming down on Earth.
Exactly.
All right, let me go ahead then as I...
Lee's
that's super...
got his hand raised, Thomas.
What was that again, I'm sir?
Lee has his hand raised.
Lee, take it while I get this video ready.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And I know you got to move this along, so I'll try to say this as fast and as concise as I can. When they move really fast, we don't shoot them. When they move at all, we wait 2 or 3 days to shoot them. When they don't move very much, we wait 18 hours to shoot them. There's something here to be said about the fact that they're trying really hard to create a sense of security. And at the same time, are we supposed to believe that with all of everything that they've been doing forever, that this is the best that we have, and this is the best blanket of security that they can provide us? And I will double down on this and say the entire Northwest of the United States is very concerned at this moment about these intrusions, whether they be spy balloons or UAPs, and it's been brought up. There's so many different layers that are going on with this right now that they needed a solid win. They needed a shoot down immediate, but even that wasn't immediate. It took 12 to 18 hours.
Right.
So even when they shoot things down, they're fighting with a hand behind their back because they don't want to show our adversaries our technology,
right,
and what we have and what we can do. But at the same time, they have to mitigate the understanding and the threat level that is going on so that the Pacific Northwest doesn't freak out and say, oh my God, like if this thing's flying over my house, what are you guys going to do?
Oh, we just won't pay attention to the Pacific Northwest. We'll just drive passively aggressive past it and glare at it.
My point is stop looking at what's in the sky. Start looking at how we respond.
Oh yeah. I hear you. Great points, Lee. Absolutely. We do have to change on how we respond, and hopefully this is a step in that right direction. On that note, we've got another clip coming in from BBC News, and then we'll get across to the clip from the actual Pentagon itself. Or should we go to the Pentagon clip, Gary? What do you think?
I don't know. She's kind of cute. Go ahead.
All right.
Altitude object flying over the state of Alaska. The White House said it was much smaller than the recently downed Chinese balloon, but was still the size of a small car and could have posed a threat to commercial planes. Our North America correspondent Nomi Iqbal gave us this update.
It was revealed by the White House spokesman John Kirby that around about 1:30 Eastern time here in the US, this high altitude object was shot down. It was traveling at 40,000 feet, which was lower than the Chinese spy balloon that was floating across America last week. It was smaller in size, but we are being told that, they're not saying that it wasn't a spy balloon, but they're not saying either way at the moment.
We're calling this an object because that's the best description we have right now. We do not know who owns it, whether it's state-owned or
Just close your eyes for a second and don't tell me it doesn't sound like a kid who's going through puberty.
corporate-owned or privately owned. We just don't know. We don't know. As I said, state-owned. We don't know if it's state-owned, and we don't understand the full purpose. We don't have any. We don't have any information that would confirm a stated purpose for this object.
After we were given details by John Kirby, there was another presser that was held by the Pentagon, and Patrick Ryder, Brigadier Patrick Ryder, gave a few more details about the incident.
On February 9, North American Aerospace Defense Command detected an object on ground radar and further investigated and identified the object using fighter aircraft. The object was flying at an altitude of 40,000 feet and posed a reasonable threat to the safety of civilian flight. U.S. Northern Command is beginning recovery operations now. U.S. Northern Command's Alaska Command coordinated the operation with assistance from the Alaska Air.
You know, it almost makes me feel like, should we jump across to the full takedown on this or continue on the summary? What do you guys think?
To do the, you mean the full 30
Yeah.
minute? I think you've hit the highlights of it. I mean, honestly, he repeated himself mostly during that.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, let me get across to that then. I think I've got the link here already. Oh, here we go.
And Christian just joined us.
Welcome, Christian. Thanks for joining us in the chat. I mean, thank you for joining us today.
Hey, can you guys hear me though? I got one headphone. Sometimes, you can't
Yeah.
hear well. Okay, cool.
You sound fine, bud.
Awesome.
Awesome. Let's go on here. We've got the well, this is the presser here. It's starting at, is there any reason why this clip started at 20 minutes in, guys? From the link I got?
Not sure. It may have been I cut and pasted from
All
when
right.
I paused it.
Okay, here we go. Let's see if this is going to be loud enough. I may have to crank it. Here we go.
United States fighter aircraft assigned to U.S. Northern Command successfully took down a high-altitude airborne object off the northern coast of Alaska at 1:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today within U.S. sovereign airspace over U.S. territorial water. On February 9, North American Aerospace Defense Command detected an object on ground radar and further investigated and identified the object using fighter aircraft. The object was flying at an altitude of 40,000 feet and posed a reasonable threat to the safety of civilian flight. U.S. Northern Command is beginning recovery operations now.
I got to ask a question. How does this pose a hazard to civilian flight when if all those other UFOs don't?
Exactly.
Right? Am I right here? Or am I right?
Yeah, it's all because of the senator from Alaska. She was super pissed yesterday because of the Chinese balloon, and she basically, she's really angry, and she does not want to tolerate anything on her airspace, whether it's Chinese or whatever. So I don't know, man. This is interesting. Let's see what happens.
And I agree with you. This is pressure coming from the states that are immediately affected.
Yeah.
I really couldn't understand where her anger was coming from. And I feel like she's being whipped into a frenzy by the government. They're itching to go to war with China.
How about maybe she's getting ripped into a frenzy by the people who she represents?
That's what I was talking about. I mean, I actually don't think it's that. I think it's about trying to I don't mean to politicize it, but I think it's about the election that's coming. I'm sorry.
Maybe. All right. Let's continue on. We got a bunch. We have a ways to get
They want
through
to make
this.
you feel all warm inside when they can shoot it all down.
Exactly. Good point, Rick.
Command's Alaska Command coordinated the operation with assistance from the Alaska Air National Guard, Federal Aviation Administration, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We have no further details about the object at this time, including any description of its capabilities, purpose, or origin. The object was about the size of a small car, so not similar in size or shape to the high-altitude surveillance balloon that was taken down off the coast of South Carolina on February 4. Separately, U.S. Northern Command continues their recovery operations in support of the recent takedown of the Chinese high-altitude surveillance balloon. Recovery teams have mapped the debris field and are in the process of searching for and identifying debris on the ocean floor. Debris that's been recovered so far is being loaded onto vessels, taken ashore, cataloged, and then moved onwards to labs for subsequent analysis. And while I won't go into specifics due to classification reasons, I can say that we have located a significant amount of debris so far that will prove helpful to our further understanding of this balloon and its surveillance capabilities. Of note, due to less than favorable sea states right now, teams will continue.
What was that, Gary?
Did he say
Larry?
balloon?
He was talking about the balloon off of the East Coast.
Gotcha.
He's moved on. He's moved on from the Alaska one.
Good catch.
Okay.
Right.
conduct underwater survey and recovery as conditions permit. The department wants to thank our interagency partners from the U.S. Coast Guard, the FBI, and state and local authorities for their continuing assistance and partnership. In other news, and I think this is important that we remember, a lot of folks and people in Turkey and Syria right now are suffering. We want to again express our support for the people of Turkey and Syria as they respond to the deadly earthquakes that struck there earlier this week. In support of ongoing U.S. assistance efforts spearheaded by the U.S. Agency for International Development.
Lee?
My point is that we've been told that this landed on ice, and he just said underwater recovery efforts. So
Is it the underwater recovery efforts for the one that's off the East Coast?
Yeah, he was describing the East Coast one at that point. He shifted gears midway.
Yeah, okay.
Shifted gears so quickly that he's actually connecting the two. He shifted gears so quickly that it gives us the impression that he sees a correlation.
Exactly.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you.
All right, let's go on. Is there anything you need to say really quick, Andy, before we move on and get going on this?
One thing I was going to just... Oh, go ahead, Andy.
Well, no, what I'm going to bring up is where it's to. Dead Horse, Alaska, in that vicinity. Why? And they have no idea where it arrived from, where it came from.
We'll find out. They haven't told us yet.
They said it's heading north, I guess, northwards towards the Antarctic. What's interesting me is where it's heading over. There's nothing there, but what's there is the Beaufort Sea. I'm looking into a little bit of a few things regarding deep water.
Right.
Now, I've looked up the depth of this Beaufort Sea, and it's around over 4,500 meters deep.
Yeah.
It's over 15,000 foot, or over 2 miles, nearly 3 miles deep. I'm erring on a lot of stuff being deep water, and I think that's got something to do with this as well.
I agree, Andy.
Absolutely. We'll have to find out and see, but you know what? Let's hear more they have to say. Great points, Andy. Absolutely.
U.S. European Command has positioned personnel, equipment, and a range of assets to aid the government of Turkey and its continued search and rescue efforts.
Right.
This includes the U.S. Navy and Sea to provide logistics. Rotary wing aircraft began flying missions out of Incirlik Air Base in Turkey on February.
Wait, are we talking about Turkey now?
And on February.
Yeah, they were covering several things at the beginning.
And in terms of entering the United States, it did enter U.S. airspace.
All right.
Now about the capabilities of...
All right, so.
This latest shoot down.
Sorry, guys.
Out of Incirlik Air Base in Turkey, U.S.
Get past this.
His thanks and appreciation to Minister Anand. Press Tarkot.
Hi, thank you for doing this. A couple of questions on this latest shoot down. First, what type of U.S. fighter aircraft were used, and what type of munition did they fire? And do you already have Navy assets or Coast Guard assets involved in a recovery process? And then I have a few more.
Thanks, Tara. So the aircraft that took down the object was an F-22, flying out of Joint Base Elmendorf in Alaska. It employed an AIM-9X to take down the object. In terms of assets that are currently involved, in terms of recovery, we have HC-130, HH-60, and CH-47 aircraft participating in that recovery effort.
Okay. You mentioned there was a reasonable threat. Was there also a threat to potentially this object detecting some of our more sensitive radar capabilities that are based in Alaska? And then what hasn't been said is where this object has come from. Is there any indication that this was also a Chinese surveillance balloon object, whatever it is?
Yeah, so at this point, we don't know the origin of the object. Again, we will know more once we're able to potentially recover some of those materials. But the primary...
Quick comment, West?
Yeah, I was just going to say a couple of things to note on this, just in comparison to the other event. The other event, they sent a YouTube spy plane off next to that balloon in order to do signals intelligence on it and try to determine what the Chinese were spying on for a while. The fact that they sent fighter bother with a reconnaissance plane to do signals analysis on it tells me that they may have already had an idea of what this thing was. And the interesting thing that Chris Lato did a video yesterday kind of describing the entire engagement with the one off the East Coast. And he talked about how the Air Force likes to engage in real world training whenever possible. I almost wonder if the government didn't decide, okay, we need a event that shows we're being strong. We also need to test to see if any of our new stealth systems or weapon systems are effective against these UAPs. Why don't we try one out?
Good point, West. Absolutely. Sorry about that. I had to run and get a cupcake. She was waking up from her slumber. So let's continue on with this. I may have to run out while I start playing this.
I'd like to hear that it came out of Joint Air Force Base Almendorf, and everybody needs to look into how that was founded and how they became a joint force base.
Absolutely.
Concern again was the potential hazard to civil flight, and so again, we'll know more later. Thank you.
No perceived threat to any of the radar installations that we have based in Alaska?
Again, right now, we'll know more once we assess it. We'll just leave it at that. Thank you. Liz.
Thanks for taking my question. What made this threatening enough to shoot down? What is different about this object than the last object that was over Alaska? Because it was chosen not to shoot the last one down over Alaska.
Yeah, so the important thing to understand here is anytime we detect anything, we're going to, first of all, observe it and then make a decision and take appropriate action. So you have to look at each individual case on its own merits. In this particular case, given the fact that it was operating at an altitude that posed a reasonable threat to civilian air traffic, the determination was made and the president gave the order to take it down.
Was there a specific threat, a specific civilian air traffic incident that could have happened?
Again, as you well know, civilian aircraft operate, at a variety of ranges up to 40 to 45,000 feet. So again, there was a reasonable concern that this could present a threat to or a potential hazard to civilian air traffic. So let me.
Question.
Yep.
Has Secretary Austin reached out to his Chinese counterpart or any other counterparts at all since this has been tracked?
Since this particular object, no. Let me go here, and then I'll come over to Oren.
Things from the previous balloon have been recovered. What additional information you have now about the capabilities of that balloon?
Yeah, so we're continuing to assess that. Again, I'm not able to go into more detail other than, in addition to learning a lot about the balloon and the capabilities that it has while it was over the continental United States, we have identified or located a significant amount of debris on the ocean floor that will be very beneficial to us learning more about it. But at this point in time, I'm not going to have more details.
Manufacturing label on these equipments or the balloons indicate that they're all manufactured in China, sourced from China?
Again, I'm not going to have details to provide it at this point in time.
Also say that 39 other countries have indicated they have seen balloons in their territories. Are you sharing those information from the Pentagon to these countries, or the capabilities, how you shot them down?
So in terms of what we're learning about these balloons, I know the State Department has talked to this in terms of our international outreach. Certainly, the Department of Defense plays a role in those relationships, and so we will continue to work with our allies and partners to share information along with our State Department colleagues. Let me go to Oren.
Two questions. First, did this object show any signs of maneuverability or propulsion? And then you and other Pentagon officials made a big deal about how much intelligence was gathered by letting the other one float across much of the United States, and yet you shot this one down before it entered the United States. Is that the Pentagon bowing to political pressure? Was there nothing to gain from this one?
Yeah, so again, we're going to judge each of these on its merits. No indication at this time that it was maneuverable, but again, we'll know more. And in terms of entering the United States,
aren't they contradicting the facts right now already, West?
Contradicting in what way?
Well, they're already saying that was basically saying that those remaining stationary.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is they're very cagey on because it evidently was loitering over northern Alaska for 24 hours, but then it was also I think what they indicated is that it was moving northeast when they did the missile strike. So in other words, it was maybe they attacked it because it was about to leave our airspace.
Yeah. Interesting to say the least. All right, let me go ahead and kick this up. I've got Cupcake out in the front yard, so I'm not leaving the show. I'm just taking care of my puppy in the front yard.
But Thomas, one other quick point that he made in the Q&A there just a second ago, one of the reporters asked, did the Pentagon or the Secretary of Defense at any point have any contact with China over this incident? And they did have contact with China over the last incident. This one they did not, which means the U.S. does not think this was China.
Right. Either that or they're just trying to placate for something, and maybe they realize they've upset some people along the way. But interesting enough, it's a great conversation. You know, I hope we can get conferences like this when other things go on, and there are UFOs that are going. You know, this is the same thing. We have craft that are unidentified over our sovereign United States, where the people are not just the military bases, and finally, our government's waking up.
Yes, government. This is what transparency should start looking more like.
Yeah. Oh, I'm like, we're going to be seeing this guy a lot more, you think?
Hey, you're up to
you guys
300,
think,
300 people now, Thomas.
300? Holy cow.
Congrats.
Let's continue on. Thank you. Thank you for everybody. Yeah, this is a great topic. I'm glad you and...
God, is there nothing on TV or something? Is Netflix down? What's going on? Why
hey, people are coming in to see us, Gary. Let's not scare them away, shall we?
Hello, new people.
Hey, do us a favor. Hit that thumbs up or that thumbs down. More importantly, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you as a subscriber. Quick thing, Christian Morales, before I start this up again and go around after Cupcake in the front yard. Or Christian Morales just hand his have up. It was Larry.
Oh, my bad. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think we can hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
So, yeah, I was just wondering, do you think the government is doing this maybe on purpose because they know that crash retrievals are, going to hit the spotlight soon, and maybe by shooting down these objects, we don't have to focus on the past, Roswell, Trinity, all the stuff that was covered up, and they can focus on, this, I don't know.
I think honestly, this is just starting to heat up because we had Balloon Gate for the last week or so going before this, and there's been a lot more of stuff saying, how can we let the Chinese be sovereign, bring in stuff over the United States and do what they're doing. Larry, really quick, I need to get my dog.
Yeah, I just real quick. You got to admire Biden's decisive action. If there's a threat, shoot it down. Boy, that's real thoughtful. I mean, that's real.
Oh, it's wonderful. Positive thoughts. All right, let's get this up and going.
We did enter U.S. airspace, and we took it down.
Did you gain intelligence from this one as you did from the previous one?
We're going to recover what we can from this, and more to follow.
And was the decision to shoot it down before it entered too far into the U.S. airspace, the Pentagon bowing to political pressure from the Hill?
Look, again, we're going to judge each of these objects on its own merits. It entered into U.S. airspace on February 9th. We sent up aircraft to assess what it was. The decision was made that it posed a reasonable threat to civilian air traffic. The president gave the order to take it down, and we took it down. Thank you, Laura. And then I'll go to Dan.
Thanks. Sorry. Thanks for taking my question. So a couple questions. First of all, has anything like this happened before with a object this size, this shape, in this particular height for the 40,000 foot range? Has it happened before? And then second of all, can you say more about why you knew that last balloon or object was from China, whereas this one you don't know?
So in terms of this particular object, again, as I highlighted, we don't know where it's from. It posed a reasonable threat to civilian air traffic, and so the determination was made to take it down. In terms of the other balloon, as I mentioned in our previous briefing, we have learned a lot. about the Chinese surveillance high altitude balloon program. We've gathered a lot of information over the last couple of years, and so we were able to, based on that information, detect at a very early stage. As it approached U.S. airspace, we had a good understanding of what it was. As I mentioned, we were able to monitor that closely, track it while it went over the continental United States, learn a lot about it, and take it down at the appropriate time.
So would you urge us to put this in a different bucket than that, or should we?
Yeah, I think I was pretty clear. This was traveling at about 40,000 feet, which posed a reasonable threat to civilian air traffic, and the decision was made to take it down. So, Dan.
When the pilots approached it, and they determined, I understand, that it was not manned. How did they determine that? And at that point, wouldn't it be possible to at least describe what they were looking at? Did it resemble a balloon or an airplane or what?
Again, we'll know more and have more information once we've
Great
covered
question.
this. I will give credit to our pilots that they are very capable in terms of looking at an object, assessing whether or not.
Here's the thing, folks. They already know what it looks like. They've already seen the signals of intelligence. They've already had a description of the verbal identification of the craft. So, welcome to the usual misinformation and disinformation and our government lying right to our face.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cover up, cover up, cover up.
This had the potential to be manned at that altitude, something that small. Very, very unlikely that it was manned. And so, again, no indication that it was manned, presented a potential reasonable threat to civilian air traffic, and we took it down.
What speed was it traveling at, by the way?
I don't have that information.
On the Chinese balloon, if we could go back, is it still, in the Pentagon's view, plausible or maybe even likely that it was not necessarily intentional that when that balloon turned and blew eastward, that it seemed to have not had some technical problem?
Yeah. So, Dan, what I would tell you is based on the information that we have, it was being maneuvered and purposefully driven along its track. Again, recognizing that winds do play a role because of the maneuverability of the balloon. It's our assessment that this was a purposeful mission. In terms of the Chinese motivations, again, I'd have to refer you back to China to talk about that, ma'am. And then,
well, there's the next thing. It was being maneuvered, right?
Yes. I'm confused. They switched back to talking about the first Chinese balloon again.
Okay, did they? Sorry about that. I was out.
No problem. It's confusing because the reporters are asking questions all over the place.
Got you. Sorry, ran out and got to get cupcakes. So, absolutely.
But I didn't even know that the balloon was being navigated.
Oh yeah, it had dual propellers on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In addition to an array that was the size of 3 coach buses.
We emailed you police body camera footage showing a National Guard general in Ohio pushing my colleague and having to be escorted away from him this week.
Okay.
We asked the Ohio National Guard for comment, but I commissioned.
The answer is no. That's not. Department of Defense absolutely supports, strongly supports a free and independent.
Face any kind of conduct on becoming charged.
I just had a couple clarifying questions. You said that that the pilots were able to see it, that it wasn't the same shape or size as the balloon. Can you say definitively it was not a balloon?
I don't, at this point, considering the fact that we're still assessing the object, I don't want to get into characterizing it. So just leave it at that.
You mentioned you didn't know how fast it was traveling. Can you say if it was traveling faster or slower than the balloon?
I don't have that information in front of me, so I don't want to make it up.
Try a couple more. Did anyone try to, within the administration, contact their Chinese counterparts before the decision was made to shoot it down?
In terms.
Okay, people are saying the volume of the thing is low, but they share a same channel. Let me try and do this. Hold on a second here, folks. I understand where you're coming from here. Let me go ahead and add in Safari into that audio channel. And I'm going to take
I just realized, too, this news dropped on a Friday. Coincidence again?
Safari out of there. And then if I go,
Yeah, Fridays are,
it's kind of interesting that it is to say they absolutely sound effects. There we go. Let me try and play this now. See if I take care of this for the audio wise. Okay, now I've got that there. Now I can go ahead and I can bring the filter on for the audio, and I can add in some gain to make it a bit louder. Crack it up a bit. There we go. So that should take care of your audio problems. I now separated the people in the back from this video, and it should help a lot. Let's
you got a couple
try.
of super chats, Thomas.
Oh, wow. There's more super chats coming in. Holy cow. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that. We got one from Eli McGinnis coming in. $4.99. Great show. Thank you very much, sir. Absolutely. Let me go ahead and get this playing, and I'll leave it up there. Thank you very much. We're trying to do our best we can here. Thank you, Eli. I'm glad you appreciate it. Let's play this.
When you say the administration, if you're referring to the White House, I'd have to refer you to them. The Department of Defense, to my knowledge, did not. Again, we don't know the point of origin of this object. Yeah.
And was there any effort to jam or somehow disable this object before, such that it would pose less of a threat?
I don't want to get into specific tactics or techniques that we may or may not use when observing these types of things. Again, NORAD sent up aircraft to observe, to see what it was, and then the ultimate decision was made based on the reasonable threat to civilian air traffic to take it down. So thank you. Tony?
A couple things. You mentioned you've recovered a significant or located a significant amount of debris. Is it fair to say you've located a significant amount of the payload?
You're talking about the PRC high altitude balloon.
One today.
So Tony, at this point, I'm not able to go into more detail other than we've discovered or located a significant amount of the debris associated with the balloon. Again, we'll have more details to follow, but I'll just leave it at that.
Located, but you haven't recovered and pulled out of the ocean for forensic analysis. Is that right?
Yeah. So great point. So the way to understand how this is unfolding is as we map out the area where the debris field would be. It enables us to figure out where are the places that we need to prioritize a search, recognizing that we're talking a wide area. And so as that happens, divers are able to go down, and depending on the size of the debris, they're able to tag it. So debris that can be brought up quickly is brought up, put on a vessel, taken ashore. Debris that's going to take more time, and again, especially given the current sea states, it may take a little longer. We know where it is, so we tag it, and then we'll go back and eventually recover all of that and bring it up.
It's the equivalent is you found the Titanic, but you haven't started pulling up debris yet from it.
Exactly.
I want to ask you about the overall program. You said you've been learning a lot about this balloon program over the last couple of years, yet the annual China report doesn't have a peep about balloons in there. You spend a lot of money and effort, but no balloons. We learned about Taiwan and China's balance of power against them, and satellites and jets, but no balloons. Why not?
So Tony, what I would say on the unclassified China Power report, right? There's going to be certain elements, intelligence aspects in the unclassified version that may not be included in that particular report. In terms of what's in that report and what's not in that report, again, we can go back and look at that, but I can assure you that there are a lot of activities that we continue to monitor to include this balloon program, and we've learned a lot over the last couple of years.
That the classified version has balloons in there. Is that
I'd have to go back and look. I do not know the answer to that.
Thank you.
Thanks. Let me get a couple other folks here. Mike, and then.
That. The only reason the American people know about the first balloon is because a couple of guys in Montana spotted it and it leaked out. My question is, if it had remained secret and had not become a spectacle and arguably an embarrassment to the White House, would you have shot it down or allowed it to continue on its way?
So you're asking me to speculate? So Mike, I'll kind of just push back a little bit.
That laugh was You know what the answer is, but I'm going to have to tell you something anyway. Read between the lines.
The assertion
hubris.
there. So first of all, again, what made this balloon different was the length and duration that it was over the continental United States. Look, we track activities all over the globe on a daily basis, some of which will remain classified because, again, we don't want to reveal sources and methods. In this particular case, I can tell you that there were efforts underway to make that public. Montana journalists reporting notwithstanding. All that to say, look, there are going to be times when there's activities happening that we're monitoring that we're not going to go public, especially if it doesn't present a particular or pose a significant threat to the American public. But again,
so we're not going to go public unless it has a significant threat to the American public. I still don't believe they're going to follow through on it. Oh my gosh, quick thing, a quick super chat coming in from, believe it or not, from Royal Morning Blue again. Holy cow, I'll ring it up here as I unpause this for a second, or pause it. I'll get it unpaused for 1 second. TF, the email essential regarding the roles, RollsNat, the reverse engineering company, aligns well with the data and the ocean stuff. Interesting very much. We will check out that email when we can. Thank you very much for the reminder on that Roaring Morning Blue. Holy cow. Let's continue on with this great freaking story.
As we monitored that balloon, there was an effort underway to ensure that folks understood what this was, especially given how visible it was. And I'll just stop there. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, General. First, a really quick follow-up on Tony's question. At this point, is the Pentagon reassessing the need for counter balloon or counter object capabilities at that altitude at this time?
Oh my God, I can picture we're going to have a whole bunch of people with freaking blow dart guns. Giant ones. The balloon core. Wasn't there a balloon core before? Long time ago? No.
Well, it's like they have that Saturday Night Live skit where they're like, yes, the balloon got past our West Coast defense, the Space Needle.
Yeah.
Such a good way to look at it. Oh my gosh, absolutely. Let's go ahead and continue on with this.
Is not, in the Air Force sometimes we talk about don't get platform specific, right? So what we're talking about is monitoring the domain and having
What's
awareness. Wrong? And again, as
volume.
Haven't changed anything, Larry. Go out for you guys. Can you not hear it anymore in the back?
Well, I mean, we can hear it, but it's not very loud.
I know he doesn't talk that loud.
Quiet.
He is quiet. It's the video feed is quiet. It's as much as I have. Let me just check for your audio. Your meet here, I can go a little bit louder. That should maybe help you a little bit, Larry. Okay, let's try this.
Highlighted, seems like a couple days ago, probably last week. We're continuing to learn more about this program, which enables us to identify and track objects, and thus ensure that we're continuing to protect our skies and our airspace.
Thank you. And then, real quick, first, do you and Admiral Kirby know the shape of this new object? And if so...
Oh, I just figured out why it's so quiet for everybody. Give me a second. Advanced audio properties. This is the sound effects mono. It's a mono signal coming in. They didn't even output it in freaking stereo. That's why it's quiet. Here we go.
What is sort of the reason for why you can't share its shape before it was shot down? And then separately, how is the recovery efforts of this new object downed over ice different from the one downed over the coast and water? And are you guys using unmanned systems for this new object as well?
Yeah, thank you. So in terms of the shape, I don't know. I have not seen any imagery of it. I'm just telling you the verbal characteristics as it was described to me. In terms of the difference in the recovery effort, I mean, again, so this literally was, an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. So that's underway right now. So more to follow on that front. Right now, I think they're moving to the site. We'll have more to follow in the days ahead. Let me go to a few other folks here. Sorry. Some new folks back here, and then we'll go over here to Mike.
You mentioned that The object was spotted yesterday. Is that the first that we saw it, or did we see it coming in a couple days before?
No, it was spotted yesterday.
And for follow up, did what we learned about the first balloon last week, did that help us detect this object?
I would say that again, when we detect objects. Well, let me just back up. So, what you're asking is, did what we learned from the PRC balloon help us track this? Kind of a little bit of apples and oranges, right? In terms of NORAD, Northcom maintains the ability to track objects. So again, they tracked this as it approached and entered into U.S. airspace. Again, we're still assessing what this object was. So I don't know that we learned anything new as a result of that, other than, again, I think we're all, to include the media and the public, very attuned to balloons at the moment. So thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. And just to clarify, so this was first identified when it flew into U.S. airspace, is that correct? Or was it identified before it?
It was detected yesterday, and then, again, NORAD sent up aircraft to observe it, see what it was, and then the decision was made to take it down.
Again, well, it was NORAD sent up the people to go take a look at it. Again, they keep on admitting that they sent up people to go take a look at it, so...
Any
What does it
information
look
whether
like?
this
Oh, we can't tell you
object
that.
flew over any other sovereign nations or countries?
I do not. Do not. Okay. We have time for a few more. Let me go to Joe.
Question about the recovery effort. I think you had mentioned at the outset that it was going to involve.
Great observation coming in. Holy cow, this is coming in from 10-8 Comics and Jim. He blinked like crazy when he said they detected it yesterday.
Oh.
Really great one. That's generally a sign of someone has either got something in their eyes, or they're fluttering because they see somebody in the audience they like, or they're not telling the truth. When you look at that, another super chat coming in from the audience right now. Holy cow, this one's coming in from W. Decker, who's in the back right now. And what is he bringing up and saying? Oh, put on my glasses. Welcome to the all new viewers. If you are enjoying the show, please like and subscribe. Good idea. I'll put up crawl text again. We appreciate you stopping by, hoping you have a good time, and would love to have you subscribe and at least give us a thumbs up if you're having a good time. And if you're not, give us a thumbs down and tell you what we can do. And below in the comments, we'd love to hear from any of you, whether it's good or bad. We try to do our best, and as always. So yes, Justin Hames saying call bullshit. Yeah, I can hear you. Sometimes you have to go there and go that. Yeah, it's the government. We're used to their games of not telling the truth and holding back from us as far as the information they think we should or shouldn't have. And it's kind of like he kind of just said a second ago. Would we have brought this up and talked about with the American people, with the other balloon, if someone didn't spot it and say something about it? And the answer with that one is, everybody, absolutely not. I wouldn't even think that they would have done that. What do you think, Larry? You're up on the camera now. Do you think they would have told us?
I'm not sure. I'm not going to comment on that, but I wanted to ask. I wanted to make
Oh,
a quick
hell
comment
no.
on this guy when he said that he doesn't know what it looks like. I believe him. You know why? Because I believe that this guy is a PR guy, even though he's a general. He's taking the role of PR, and so the people that really know what it looked like aren't going to tell him because they don't want they don't want him to slip up and, oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. No, they're going to tell him what little they can so that we don't get informed. And he blames it on sources and methods. We don't want to reveal sources and methods. My question is, when you shot it down, did it smoke? What did it look like when it was being shot down?
How large was the debris field? How, it's kind of, yeah, great points, Larry, as always. All right, let's take that and continue on with this.
Rotary wing aircraft, that's because it landed on ice as opposed to water. That's why there's an watercraft being used? Is it?
Yeah, Joe, we'll get you more information on that front. Again, this happened just a short while ago, and so according to Northcom, these are the assets that were being used to go out and do the initial recovery. But we'll have more information in terms of the various roles and responsibilities of those.
Get down in the weeds for a second. Any idea what units are involved in the recovery effort or in the F-22 that shot it down?
We can get you that information. Thanks. Phil?
Hey there, just a couple clarification questions. First off, when you first identified it, was it traveling at the same altitude, around 40,000 feet? Did you at that point know its velocity? And secondly, doesn't Northcom have the authority on its own to shoot down unidentified objects entering U.S. airspace if they pose a threat to civilian air traffic? And if so, then why was the president's authorization required in this case?
Yeah, thanks. So my understanding is it was at 40,000 feet when it was detected and ultimately taken down. The NORAD Northcom commander does not have the authority necessarily to take down an object if it's not posing a potential hostile intent or actions. However, given the fact that this aircraft was, this object was operating at an altitude that posed a reasonable threat to civilian air traffic, after consultation with the secretary and the president, and of course the president, on our advice, gave the order to take it down, and we took it down.
Trying to clarify, is his authorization required in a situation like this?
Again, it's kind of a moot point at this point because the president gave the order, but he has the authorization to take action against anything that presents a potential threat to the American public or people on the ground. In this particular case, it was determined that this posed a reasonable threat to air traffic. Again, I'll just leave it at that. Thanks. Tara?
Just a couple of clarifiers. Was it a single F-22 or a pair that were up today for the shot? And then when NORAD sent the initial aircraft up to sea, was there any sort of hailing or any type of warning given? Typically when an aircraft makes an incursion into protected airspace, there's a whole lot of procedures that have to be followed before it would escalate to something like this.
Okay, well, this was an object, right? So it wasn't an aircraft per se. And to answer your earlier question, it was a two-ship of F-22s, but one aircraft took the shot. Got time for one more. Go to Liz.
Thank you so much. Really quick, when it was started to be tracked last night, were you able to tell what direction it was coming from?
This was traveling in a northeasterly direction when it was taken down.
And then one more, the aircrafts that were observing it, what type of aircrafts were those?
I'll have to come back to you on. I think I know, but I don't want to make it up from the podium.
It was
so
an
we'll come back to you on that
F-22.
one. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it.
All right, just to take that, it was traveling northeast. Let's go ahead and go back to the map. Let's look at, let's look at a couple different wind maps here at 1,000, at 870, 800 PHA. There's nothing, if this is Alaska here, there is nothing that's moving to the north and to the east.
Yeah, exactly. That was what I was noticing earlier.
Hey, can I ask something?
Now, over here, if it was over this part of Alaska, here it was moving to the northeast, in this particular part where my mouse is there, right? But then as it goes around, so if it was up in here, it could potentially be moving to the northeast, right in that area. Do we know exactly where it was when we took it out? When we took it out?
Yeah, we took it out. Gary sent you a map in our iChat. If you want to look there, you can see exactly. It's on the northern coast of Alaska to the so already past the land border over the ocean.
All right, let me take a look here. All right. So this is the picture of where it was at. Oh, okay. So that's Canada. There's the hook there. It was moving along right. Okay, if it's
north of where those prevailing winds are, though.
no, if it's right within this area here, right? If I were to take and overlay the map on top of it, this is going down here. This is where that is. Right down in this spot here over the mountains, that is moving north and to the east.
But it's not. It was over the water where they shot it down, which is moving strong to the west.
Yeah, yep, you got me on that one. Let's go down a little bit more. This is at 250. I need to go ahead and convert this. Hold on.
Yeah, I hate that they do that pressure instead of altitude.
250.
Sorry, Thomas, can I jump in? I've just posted a link on our internal chat from the BBC website. It looks like it's got a clip of where an aircraft was circling in the area via flight radar.
This is 250.
Good catch.
Okay, 250 HPA is 6,400. So it has to be, let's go to 850 PHA. That's only 21,000 feet. So the highest I go up here, I know that's 1,000. It's got to be the opposite. Let me go the opposite here. Go to 10. Either way, we'll figure it out later. There's no winds going off in that direction based on all the different air maps of what we're seeing. By the way, since we're here, let's take a look. What is going on with the Aurora Borealis tonight? Space.
Thomas, are you hearing them in the chat?
Who?
They're all talking. Andy's been trying to tell you something.
No, I cannot hear them. Sorry.
Can you hear me, Thomas?
You've always been quiet the entire show. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, I've just put a link in our internal messages. It's off the BBC website. There's a news article on there, and you've got to go a bit of a way in, but it shows a route via. They've taken it from flight radar of an aircraft that was circling in the vicinity of where this is supposed to have happened.
Right. Copy link address. Let's go across to that and let's take a look and see where we're at there. That doesn't tell us squat.
Do expect to be able to recover.
It's probably freaking copywritten music. Son of a gun. Kill that.
Sorry about that. I didn't know it was sound on it.
Yeah, don't worry. So it's sometimes dropping as low as... No, the plane that was there dropping as low as 7,250 feet. I'm not sure what the heck I'm looking at here. There it says the H-130 Combat King 2 was deployed to execute recovery operations.
It's showing you where it's circling, where it fell.
Thomas, I think what that's telling us is that we may think we shot this thing down, but they can't find it.
Possibly.
Well, they're trying to find wreckage is what they're trying to look for.
Yeah, but I wonder if maybe they're overly optimistic.
So if I go back to there, I bring this back around again.
I mean, how would we even know, right?
I get back to wind again, air.
Yeah, unless there was wreckage.
Let's go down. Do I see where those islands are at? If they can even show
Even
me?
if there
No.
was wreckage, how would we know?
Well, I think
somewhere
this
around
is a
in
good
there.
indication that they at least suspect that there should be wreckage because they sent a plane out to look for it, and it's circling and can't find anything.
It's off the coast. Well, no, it's just not potentially that they're not finding something, West. How long did they circle for? Not that long before they came back, which potentially means they found it.
Well, it could be, but I'm just saying the course that you were watching them fly, it was looking like they were all over the place, whereas if they had the exact coordinates, you would have thought they could have just honed right in on it.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Let's see who else we have out there. Looks like we got some other people. Sapphire Elf, sir, yes. Please be sober. You're muted, my friend. We can't hear you. Sapphire Elf, you have to unmute your mic on Google Chat.
Yep, I'm back. And
no, I'm not sober, but I was going to say, right, if we can't find MH370 that had a black box we put in it to find it, how are we going to find something we shot down over the bloody ocean? They're going to say, no, we lost it, right?
The MH370 flight that went down, we lost that in the entire Indian Ocean. That's not a small area.
And that's us putting our stuff in it to find it. And we shot something down in our waters, so we're definitely going to find that.
Well, we found the balloon where it went off of the east coast of the United States. So, if they want to find something, they'll find it.
Well, in this case...
exactly. If they want to, they will.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, no one wants to find MH370 because of the political ramifications of it.
Well, I mean, I think some people want to find it, but I agree with you, Sapphire. I do, to a certain degree. Because when Avi Loeb was trying to find the 2014 interstellar meteorite that fell into the Indo-Pacific Ocean, he actually went back to NASA and asked them to give him the better telemetry of where it fell so that he could limit his scope.
That's fair.
To find it. And guess what they did? They gave it to him. And they narrowed it down to about 3 football fields where it went into the ocean.
It's not there, is it?
I have no idea. I have no idea if it's there or not. But my point is that when things hit our water or our land or our ocean, we do, as the United States and the world, the Five Eyes and everybody that's looking at it, NASA, we do have the capability to go back through the data. And I have to say this again. We do have the capability to go back through the data.
You got to go and audit it to find out what's going on. You've got so much information.
So I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
If they really want to find it, they know where it's at.
Yeah, it's like, there's got to be some kind of satellite telemetry. The last thing it spoke to where it went down, right? If they want to find it, they can. They just don't because of politics. And it's like this thing went down in our waters. And we actually had like a flight tracker on this thing. And they still don't want to find it. It's like, come on,
We'll
I'm
see.
just going to bring that
Give it
up.
some time. The event just took place. We'll see where it goes and everything. Larry Gerndt, you've got your hand up, my friend.
Yes. I was reading through this article that Andy linked to us. And according to ABC News, the object seemed to have no propulsion. It seemed to be floating. Quote, cylindrical and silverish gray, unquote, reports the network's chief global affairs, Martha Raddatz. Now, didn't we just hear that the F-22 flew alongside this thing for a while? Didn't we hear that earlier tonight?
Yes, we did, Larry.
Well, that was in the quote from the NASA guy that Thomas read off of Twitter, yeah.
So how could you fly along something that has no propulsion? Fly alongside it.
Means of propulsion. Just like the way
the object described. It says the object seemed to have no propulsion, meaning it didn't seem to be moving except in the wind.
Propulsion, remember, the Tic Tacs have no visible signs of propulsion, right?
Yep.
Exactly.
And it was floaty.
Hey, one other quick point.
It wasn't moving.
Hey guys, hold on a second here before we start jumping on over you. Let's just keep everything kind of fair and raise your hand up as we go along, and we'll keep everything going. I know it's a bit like a family going back and forth, but when you get too many people talking at one time, it just makes it really difficult for the audience, if that makes sense. Cool. Syrup, you were saying something since you're up there. I'll let you go ahead, and then I'll bring on Christian next.
That guy was all over the place because, from my understanding, they confirmed it was. I can't say the word. What is it? Cylinder, right? Cylindrical.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been confirmed. It's been confirmed that it hovers, which I remember what's his face was talking about it. George Knapp was talking about the pictures they took and released a while back, and he said one of the interesting things about the UFOs that he took the pictures of is they would just kind of just seem to hover and not even move. Yeah. Against the wind or nothing.
Yeah, they remain stationary and winds aloft. It's one of the
no propulsion systems. So to me, it sounds like a UFO. Now I'm not saying it's alien, but it's definitely, to me, it sounds like one of the things they can't figure out what it is.
Well,
I don't think they know what it is. I really don't think they know what it is.
Maybe.
And he said
Well,
it
you know
could
what?
be manned, it could not be manned. He doesn't know if it's manned.
They
or not.
have
They're still
pictures
going
of
on.
it. They have multiple sensors imaging of it. They did 2 reconnaissance on it to go ahead and check out what this thing was before they took it out.
So he was saying it could be manned and possibly not manned, right? And they were still willing to shoot it down.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Interesting conversations all the way along. It's something as time moves on, we'll get some more clarity on it. I
The guy
certainly
was
hope.
all over. He was very flip-floppy. If you listen
Yeah.
to what he said, he kind of contradicted a lot of a few of the things he was saying.
Yeah,
It's
because
my-
clearly there's a lot of interest in this. I mean, from
Well, but he was flip-floppy, but at the same time, listen to the words that were spoken. There were a lot of hot topic, hot button points that were spoken throughout all of the interviews, all of the news coverage. And at the same time, you know, like they say cylindrical, they say unidentified flying objects. They say we don't know if it's a balloon, but we shot it down. So everybody should feel safe. We took care of it. It's okay. Don't worry, Alaska. Your skies aren't compromised. You're okay. We realized just a week ago you were compromised, but we took care of it this week. The point is that they're I don't know if they know what it is or don't know what it is. This isn't what this is about. We are so subjugated even further below the point of fact that we're trying to talk about. Our government is telling us they just took care of something that has no visible means of propulsion in the sky, that wasn't even moving towards the same trajectory towards what they just did a week ago, that took them 2 to 3 days to take care of. And we're all supposed to feel better about it. And the thing is, if they keep pushing this narrative and we keep accepting it, we are all going to look at it and be like, oh, yeah, you're right. We're safe.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, there's a jet stream moving on both sides of Alaska, and you can see how it dips down across the United States. Well, there's a big dip going on right now on the West Coast. Holy cow, I was not aware of that. But yeah, interesting time with weather absolutely around. Let's go ahead and see who else we have out there in the audience. Right, actually, Christian Morales, you have your hand up, my friend.
Yeah, so I was somebody said that they haven't been able to found it, or I don't know if I heard that correctly or not, but I can tell you one thing. From my research on crash retrievals, I've learned that there's 2 responders. The US Black World, and then you got, like, you know, your Men in Black and stuff like that. That's usually what happens when a legit UFO crash. And I can tell you that if they don't find it, I'm gonna assume that it's a legit UFO, because then that means that whatever other shadow government probably beat them to it. So I don't know if that's accurate, that information, but that would be interesting if that's accurate, that they couldn't find the craft. Yeah, that's all
right.
I wanted to say.
I've got a great question here from coming in, an idea, believe it or not, from one of our viewers, Super Crazy Movie Geek. Thanks for reminding me about this tonight. We're going to go ahead and bring this up. Absolutely. Let me go ahead and get this across to the Zoom. We're going to bring up a quick survey for the audience. If you haven't been here before, every so often we'll go ahead and go out in surveys and see what's not just what we think. It's about what all of our viewers and everything think. So we'd appreciate it. You know, we're just going to do a quick 2-minute survey here. Let's go ahead and bring it up and throw it up full screen, and let's see what we can do here to start up the, not that one, where did it go? It's the pulsing. All right, what do you think it is that we're talking about that has been the subject of the show tonight? We got a survey that we brought out for the audience. Come on, get out there, vote. Let's see if we can make this the biggest vote we've had on Disclosure tonight yet. The object is 2 answers: man-made or other. Now, as we're going to go on to this, I'm going to ask the timer to give us 2 minutes. Oh, okay, Google, set a timer for 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
Okay, next, I'm going to go through the panel one by one, and I want an answer only, man-made or other. because we've got 2 minutes to go. We've got a bunch of people up on the panel tonight. Let's go through it first. Larry, since you're up there, man-made or other?
Because UAP can't be shot down.
Gotcha. Next, W. Decker.
I'm going with other.
Other. Sapphire Elf, where are you at? You're muted, my friend. Man-made or other?
Man-made, because they didn't shoot the Chinese balloon.
All right, let's go to our next one. Andy W. Man-made or other?
I'm going other.
You're going other. Christian Morales. Man-made or other?
Other.
Absolutely. LM. Man-made or other?
Oh, it's the Biden special.
There you go. Syrup. Man-made or other?
I'm going to go with other because my heart wants it to be other.
Absolutely. W. Decker, West Decker, man-made or other?
I vote other again.
All right, okay, you're twice. And the last person, Mike, do us a favor. You got 45 seconds to convince people one way or the other. Convince them. Go ahead.
Well, it was just said by the rest of the panel. It's got obviously man-made, because if it wasn't, it never would have been shot down. That's obvious.
Let me tell you, if it wasn't man-made, it wouldn't have been shot down.
Christian objects.
All right, just 25 seconds left. 84 votes in. This is above and by far the biggest vote we've had on Disclosure tonight so far. So overall, it's a split almost 60-40. 14 seconds left. Let's see if we can get it a little bit higher, folks. Come on. Can we hit 90? 10 seconds left. 9. Cupcake is spinning in circles to let us know that the timer has stopped. Let's go ahead and take a picture of that. Go ahead, end that poll. Let me go ahead and grab the picture, bring it up, end the poll. There we go. Take the chat out of here. Let me go ahead and bring up the results for us all to take a look at. Give me a second here to drop that and to take that off the side of the screen. Don't need to see that. And yes, it was Gary. All right, so let's bring that up. All right, there we go. As I cover up the chat, there's our answer from our audience. 59% of our audience says it's man-made. 41% says other out of 85 votes. About a 60-40 split. It's close to 50-50, not quite, but who's got their hand up? That looks like Sapphire, if you had her hand up on this, sir.
Yeah. Quick thing about visible propulsion. Balloons don't have visible propulsion, so neither do paper aeroplanes, but they're propelled by a force. And when something's traveling at great speeds without a heat exhaust, that's what they mean by no visible propulsion. It doesn't mean it's like always just floating, right?
Bingo.
I was going to say that. Yeah, anyway, that's good.
Thank you for bringing that up. That's a very good point. Very good point. It's something, if there is no visible means of propulsion, this thing is still moving. It's moving across the winds. It's not moving with it. They're flying alongside of it, which means it's going at a good speed. So
it's not generating heat with an exhaust by our conventional methods. So therefore, it has no visible means of propulsion, even though you can clearly see it propelling itself along at an ungodly speed. And you're like, well, what the fuck is that? And that's why it's no visible means, right?
I have to object here because the article says, according to ABC News, the objects seem to have no propulsion, and they didn't mean visible because they went on to say it seemed to be floating. Okay?
There you go then. I warned you about balloons.
did they actually, someone's coming up here and asking, they did report it was moving at 20 to 40 miles per hour. I don't think they did say at what speed it was moving at, did they?
No.
Yes. Marcus Mandel wants to thank you, this message is for you, Sapphire Elf. Thanks for getting dressed for the occasion, Mr. Elf.
You're welcome. I did put...
yeah, the scarf was on there for a little bit, but it kind of fell off pretty fast.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Aussie, I guess
I'm like a grey alien, man.
I guess it's considered Aussie wedding attire?
Pretty much.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's my formal clothing. I took my hair out to cover my nipples.
Oh, there you go. I appreciate that, yeah. Just like they have in Second Life.
For the algorithm.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming in from the audience as well, saying Blues Cruise is saying, I'm guessing the new quote-unquote object shot down by the F-22 Sidewinder missiles is spherical in shape. Also, my educated guess. No, they're saying this one is cylindrical, about the size of a small car. Are they talking a Fiat? Is that a small car, or is like a small car in America, which is like a Subaru McCallahan? Or is that bigger?
Let's go with a
like
Tesla Model 3.
Oh, sorry,
which is
Mike.
15 feet 5 inches.
There you go.
Because an F-18 is 60 feet, so it was smaller than the F-18.
Yes, absolutely.
Small car would be a Tesla. So
yeah, Christian.
And
Mr. Morales.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I was remembering Biden the last time he got asked about UFOs and he ran off the stadium. He got asked something about Obama, and he's like, "Oh, talk to him." He laughed it off, which tells me he fears. It tells me that. Can you hear? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Larry's just trying to talk on top. You continue, Christian.
Okay. So, which tells me that Obama thinks this topic is preposterous, and he's probably not been interested in it, hasn't been asked, I don't know. So, I was thinking maybe Biden was like, maybe he had somebody tell him, hey, you might not want to shoot this thing. Like, this might be a legit UAP with advanced technology, and him having a skeptical, close mind was like, shoot it down. I don't know. That's speculating. I don't know if that's what happened. But by the last time he got a UAP question, by how he handled that situation, it tells me that he obviously thinks that there's
that was the first and only ever time he's been asked on camera about a UAP. And when he did that, he tried to run away from the podium, but he left his earpiece on it and kind of pulled back, and he basically went back and tell him to ask Barack about it. Barack, remember, his wife, Michelle, they've gone and gotten the license for the Betty and Barney Hill story, and they'll be bringing that out. So if they are truly not, I don't think Barack is really against UFOs. I think he's just been quiet about it because he knows he's not supposed to talk about it, and it's a matter of national security.
Not Barack. Biden. He just seemed like he was. I don't know. The body language said that this topic was ridiculous. That's what I got from the body language when he got asked that question. But
yeah, everybody sees it differently. If that's something you got out of it, I'll have to respect that. Everybody sees things kind of different. Absolutely. But you look at that, 354 people in the audience right now, not in the chat, but in the audience. Holy cow, Larry, my friend, you've got your hand up.
Thank you. I just wanted to agree with Christian. It really pissed me off the way Biden's body language acted like, God dang it, I don't want no fracking UFO questions. It's like he just got irritated by it. Ask Obama. And then run away from the podium, like you said. That was just irritating.
Maybe it's something that kind of took him away, and it's something that just kind of happened. And again, it's got to think of the state of the mind, what was going through his mind at that point in time, what was going on. Honestly, it was more like he just wanted to get the hell off the stage, and he was just trying to say, you're not going to get me on that one. I'm not going to talk about it.
Maybe he doesn't want to be asked about it because he could possibly say the wrong thing, and he panicked.
Oh my God, it's like God spoke up right now. The way I have the audio cranked up right now, it's like, Oz has spoken. But it's actually Gary. Perfect. Say something again to me, Gary.
You're a twat.
Okay, perfect. I've got all the aisle dialed in. Hey, remember, do us a favor. Please like and subscribe to Disclosure tonight. Give us a thumbs up if you're having a good time. And if not, give us a thumbs down. And hey, at least if you're going to give us a thumbs down, at least give us a good Karen message below. And we'll try to do what we can to make you happier about it so you don't have to ask for my manager. That's me, by the way. You got to have fun with it. So interesting to see where the topic takes this and how people see this in general. I don't know. What do you think this is going to take us next? Do you think they're going to go ahead and be more clear on this situation, Larry? I know you've actually, was it you or I think Seth? Wait.
Hey, you said it was only going 24 to 40 miles per hour. I'm just asking.
No. Someone asked that. I didn't hear them say what speed it was going, right?
Yeah, I haven't heard any speed estimates other than the one NASA guy saying that he thought that the jet was able to fly with it at some point, which means it was going at speeds fast enough for a jet to stay airborne at 40,000.
Yeah.
I was trying to clarify, what do they mean by visible means propulsion? Do they mean it was floating, or it had no exhaust and it was going fast? They both mean the same thing.
Was it anything amazing? Are they saying it was amazing what it was doing? Are they acknowledging the fact that what it was doing was amazing, or does it sound like rational? Like, okay.
I haven't heard that it was.
I don't think they've said anything yet. Yeah.
If it's
balloon.
If it's okay, I've got videos which I've shown on this show many times in the past that came out of Malta that had crafts that are from an air show on September 25th, 2021, and it showed September 21st, 2021, and it had a black object, a small like a Tic Tac, except they're black. They describe them as phantoms that are moving up and that they've seen over Ukraine. No, these aren't projectiles. These aren't, artillery guns. These aren't insects. These aren't planes or anything, because what they're seeing in Ukraine are moving very fast. And the video I have of the craft that's over in Malta, it's going at 14,000 miles per hour. If this is the fighter jet that's moving along, and it's moving at 500 miles an hour, it's barely going, and this thing literally comes in and just shoots off. Well, this thing is just basically crawling along, where the craft, the UFO, is moving many times faster than these. And these actually took off. There was one of them that was starting at the first part of the video that was hovering in air in location, and all of a sudden it went from 0 to instantaneously shooting across the sky without popping the sound barrier. Now, if it's one of these kind of UFOs, the flaming dumpster fires, the black ones, either way, those can run rings around our UFO, those UFOs can run rings around any of our aircraft because they're going so fast. What this thing moving really slow is, if it's moving the same speed of one of these, it's going about 400 miles an hour. If they can just go ahead and fly by it, and it's moving at a certain rate, but it's going against it, again, it's moving really, really slow, not like what we would see in a typical high-performance UFO, maybe like an orb UFO potentially, but still, they don't hang around for long periods of time.
That craft, it's Slavic folklore, and they describe black glass things in the sky. They're usually tube-shaped, though. You said round, but that actually fits Slavic folklore. They've seen it for centuries, man.
Yeah. I hope I freaking caught that today.
In Slavic folklore, they're called stone pillars that rise from the earth.
Yeah.
And they sound like tube aliens, and they're said to look like black volcanic glass.
Right.
And this is a Slavic thing they've been talking about for like 1,000 years in their folklore, right? And the fact you said it was flying around then, it was black.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's spot on, right?
Now, don't forget, this is the same government where when you have a train crash go off and they say the air is not toxic, it's completely safe, right? And coming away from this, you have livestock, you've got pets, you've got chickens, you've got foxes, you've got other animals dying from this stuff. Are you believing what they're always saying? No, they're always going to be going and putting out a message, no matter what we try to do to bring out the truth. There was here's another shot of that explosion that happened today. Again, it's completely safe, nothing to worry about. It's a major hazardous chemical leak in East Palestine, Ohio, but they're saying, don't worry about it, folks. It's all safe. Right. There's the one. Oh, man, there was a video I saw earlier today of a different... No, I don't have it. I need to go back to my Twitter feed. I thought I snagged it, and I didn't snag it. There was a phenomenal video that I was going to bring out and share about this. I'll have to bring it out tomorrow, of an alien getting worked on, and it's an old black and white film, but it's one I've never seen before, and I think it's some UFO believers. And
that was really interesting. I saw that too.
Yeah, did you tag that one, West?
Let me see if I can find it for you.
Yeah, if you can. That was an amazing video that I've seen, that I haven't seen anything like this before, and it just was different, and it had, you've seen the fake alien autopsies and stuff where it looks like it's fake and everything. This was good enough to where you think it's real. Let's see if I can find them as well.
I'll keep looking if you want to go on with the
show.
show.
They had another picture of a UFO. Here's one. Yeah, according to Brian Rommel, this photograph was taken by the Spanish Defense Combat Command. No date provided or any other good information. Would be good to get more clarification on this. All I can say is, oh shit. Didn't know the Klingons were here, and it's a bird of prey, and they've actually they've decloaked themselves. We're screwed. It does look like a bird of prey, doesn't it?
No, it looks like a D-7 battlecruiser. For Klingons.
Yeah, exactly.
Bird of prey is smaller, like a fighter craft.
Okay.
Good point.
Yeah, good point. Exactly. Yes. Well, hopefully W. Decker can find that one piece. Yes.
Yeah, I'm still looking.
There's some amazing stuff. Yeah, back about that fire. All right. Oh, no, we're not going to do that one. Sorry, that's not right for tonight. Back to the fire. So about that explosion that happened on the East Coast, if you weren't aware from it, that's what we're looking at, what actually took place. There was actually a train carrying chemicals that actually, let me go ahead and open this up in a different way. There we go. I can actually have a better control over taking a look at this picture. You can take a look and see it. What we're dealing with is a whole bunch of, you got a train with a bunch of chemical cars. It looks like it derailed, and coming out of the derailment, there's all the black smoke, and I guess that's the white stuff must be from the fire department, or is that from the chemicals themselves? Got to be from the chemicals where it burned everything out, and that's just the chemicals coming down to the area. Look what it's doing down to the ground itself. Holy cow. That looks wild. It can't be from the fire department because it's not too close. Whatever it is, it's there's some caustic stuff happening to the area around it. And if we go back then to I'll get it back to the full view. Here's the other picture. That's the other one.
And the people of this neighborhood were lied to. They were told there was nothing toxic.
Yeah. Yet all their chickens in their backyards are dying. Pets are dying. Other livestock. A guy who has a fox farm. A bunch of his foxes died. You can't say it's from the concussion of the accident. I feel sorry for that person just standing there watching.
Looks like there's going to be thousands of people dead in that town.
Yeah, cancer and everything's going to be running like crazy when that happens. Holy cow. I feel sorry for the people. That's an absolute fact.
Their medical insurance will take care of it.
Yeah.
A build-up of chemical residue is usually referred to as a concretion rather than, you say it looks caustic, but the chemicals do weird shit to weird stuff, right? And it grows the layers on things,
Yeah, absolutely. I
don't trust the government.
It just shows how fragile everything is and how much, hazardous materials are shipped through on our rail lines unknowingly without having the proper level of protections. Remember, we just had it in the United States. Now, let me finish really quick. Not that long ago, that in the United States, the rail workers were saying they wanted to actually have some time off and some more longer rest periods for what was going on, and actually having some insurance for what they're doing. And it was the president themselves, I believe, actually intervened and prevented them from going on strike when it was the people who are, you know, concerned and actually moving the stuff across that it needs to go on.
They're asking for hazmat training and you're not giving them to them. Are you an idiot? You know, like,
Yeah.
can't remember what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
I
LM?
don't trust the government. So.
Lee?
Well, I find it very interesting because there's only a couple of things, and I have experience with this for the audience in case they know. I work in hazardous chemicals and disposal of them, and I'm very familiar with how they dispose of things via freight, especially train. This was large quantity. It was liquid, and it's not what you think it is. Okay, it didn't explode. It's a slow burn, and it's uncontrolled. It's a runaway. Okay, so we're not dealing with your normal kind of liquids that are being transported around the country. So the first question, I'm not going to tell you what I think it is. What I'm going to say is, where's the manifest for this train? Where is the manifest? You're not going to get it. You're not going to get it at all. So before I give my opinion on it, the press needs to start asking, what was on this train? Where is the manifest? And my guess is you are not going to get the answer.
In Australia, they just lost a thumb battery-sized thumbnail thing that's radioactive in the middle of a rail system in Western Australia. The mining equipment rocked up, and whatever it used to scan the rock, some radioactive component, it fell out of the machine on the truck on the way. And everyone's scouring the bloody
They found it.
desert trying to find this thing.
Didn't take them long. Took them less than a day, and they found it.
Oh, but I
And
remember hearing
no
about
one
it.
has asked where the manifest for this train is.
I think
We're all
it's
just
bullshit.
witnessing an uncontrolled runaway burn.
You can't find a thumbnail-sized radioactive device in the middle of Australia. It's not happening. I think it's lies. It's just out there in the middle of nowhere. Don't tell the public and leave it alone.
Yeah, this isn't sulfates. These aren't nitrates. This isn't diesel. This isn't like, guys, this is some serious chemical stuff that was being transported on this train. And somebody from the press needs to come forward and ask them, what is the manifest? And it's very simple because the majority of the train is still intact. So it'd be pretty clear to look which car was carrying what. Like it didn't explode into a billion pieces. It's not unrecognizable. They're like
what car was it in and where did it end up? And
exactly. So somebody needs
willing to answer.
Exactly. Somebody needs to ask these questions, but yet nobody's asked it. Nobody's asked it.
I have a theory about cattle mutilations and human abductions, right? And I reckon grey aliens look suspiciously like fighter pilots in military headgear with that respirator, the helmet, and visor. And everyone says they're short, but if you're on a 6-foot hospital gurney or a 3-foot one, your bed at home's probably 1 foot. Are they actually short, or are you just fucked up? You know, like, I swear, man.
I thought they identified the chemical as vinyl chloride.
What was that, West? I'm sorry.
The news reports say that it's vinyl chloride.
Vinyl
should be a PVC based substance. It shouldn't be chloride or chlorine based. That doesn't sound right.
I'm just telling you what people are.
I know the media. The media. NASA crashes a little satellite into a meteorite, and they proclaim we have the technology to deflect them. It's like, no, we just hit the bitch. You know?
Well, and I would say, West, if they say it's vinyl fluoride, and you're absolutely right, sapphire vinyl is a form of PCB, which, by the way, was Monsanto. Hello. It doesn't catch fire easily at all, like never. It's part of the reason why it was created. And fluoride can be highly explosive, but it's usually accompanied with a nitrate. Okay, and then you would get it, and then you would get a major explosive with it. So you could actually, and this is a way to make. I mean, anyway, Go on the dark web and you can find out how to make huge bombs.
I grew up on a farm with the terrorist cookbook, man.
But there are certain
there
are certain plastic components that can be mixed with extremely volatile compounds that can burn very hot, but they explode very fast and they can continue to burn. But the point is, very interesting, vinyl fluoride. That's very interesting. It would have exploded very fast. So why is this thing still burning after 4 or 5 days?
Yeah,
so,
catalyst and an oxidizer. Yeah.
Not only that, but basically like a chain reaction along a different type of compound that continues to burn it over and over and liquefies that compound and continues to burn over and over and over. So basically it's like napalm on crack. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
It's got its own inbuilt fire retardant, right? It's like if it's
well, and to the best of their efforts, they can't put it out.
Yeah, you won't. You got to let it burn.
Hey, Thomas,
because it would already be put out if they could.
iChat.
Where'd you put it at? In the iChat?
Yep.
iChat. Let's just hope this thing isn't taken. Is it the?
And this isn't burning the whole train wreck. Okay, it's specific to that point. So what's the manifest? What was on that car?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If it's going to burn for a long time, obviously it's retarding oxidants. Because if it could absorb oxygen fast, it would burn out quickly. So whatever it is, it's obviously not high flash point.
Can you send it in the combined chat, West? Your chat has disappeared from my freaking list.
Sure. It's in the disclosure. Hunks chat, but I'll send it to the...
No, I don't see it. I got it. Okay, sorry, there was a bunch of stuff after that I lost it. It must have been a video blanch.
Look at the rest of the wreckage. It's not spreading heat to the other cars. It's very localized, and it's a furious fire that can't be put out. It's not spreading, which means that it doesn't have, even when it burns, it's not giving anything off. It's not spewing material. There was something very specific that caught fire there that they're having a hard time putting out.
Okay, this came from UFO Believers. This is that one clip I wanted to bring up really quick. It's something we're going to end up watching probably a couple times over on this channel. This is supposedly, it looks like it's a clip of something to do with an alien that's been potentially, well, injured. And it's a video I've never seen before. Let me raise it up a little bit higher on the screen. What caught me was the feet. How many toes do we have? 4. And there's toenails. 1, is it 4?
I can see that it has mid-tarsal segments though, so it still looks like a mammal.
I've never seen this one before. That's one of the ones you just kind of looked at and everything that's going along with it. And yeah, it's at a slow frame rate and everything. But usually in the ones you've seen, you've never seen their heads moving around, their feet moving in that particular manner. The things writhing back and forth in pain as they're doing stuff with it. So it's kind of just...
You shouldn't cut things open while they're alive, even if it does.
Yeah.
You know, that's just fucked, right?
Now
Even
there's freaking
frogs,
blood coming
yeah.
out of its freaking mouth.
Oh, God, I can't watch this. It's just like watching Saw for me. It's like, oh, that was
Yeah.
nasty.
Well, if you look at the old phone, we're dealing with
this is the one... Sorry. This
We're
is the one
dealing
where
with
it
an old...
coughs.
Hold on.
Sorry. I'll shut up. I'll mute. Sorry.
I just got you muted. There we go. Okay, we've got something right now where it's just something that's there and it's just kind of interesting. I've never seen anything like
I'm going
this.
fake on this purely for the fact, why is the cameraman filming him on the phone?
Good point.
I mean,
is this the video that Hal put up? I don't know if it was Hal put up or Kid Green. We're talking about there's been some recent podcasts talking about alien autopsy that Kit Green thought was real. I don't know if it's this one, but yeah, apparently Kit Green got a video of an alien autopsy, and he believes that it was real. So
Also,
Well,
it's way too
he
close
didn't say it
to
was
the
alien.
obvious fake one.
He said he believed that it could be subhuman.
what does that mean?
He believes it could be a different form of Homo something that he's not saying. He's basically saying it's terrestrial. It is of Earth. He didn't say it's alien. I've read that article, and I don't know if this is the video that he's talking about. But
If
what
you're
he was
filming and
talking about,
documenting
Christian,
an autopsy, though, you wouldn't film
what
the
he was
person on the
talking
phone.
about from a video that he saw of the autopsy was that he believed that it was subhuman, which means it is it's related to us from Earth.
Well, whatever it is, it's got bags as big as I have, so I don't feel so bad anymore. I like it.
I'm just asking, does subhuman mean like it would be a subspecies, like a chimpanzee or something like that? It wouldn't be Homo sapien, right?
Subhumans are modern
yes, you're
term
right.
for more primitive versions of Homo sapiens sapien. Did you know Neanderthal actually had a larger brain than modern humans?
Subhuman, and we have to think anatomically modern human, what we are supposedly today. Subhuman means a cousin,
or a subset
or a
thereof.
half-brother of us that isn't recognized as being civilized like we are. Now, that blows everybody's mind because, like, what are we talking about? What he's saying is very closely related.
And just to, so I'm understanding, you're talking about the video he's showing that somebody was saying that.
No, I cannot correlate this video to what was said. No, I don't know if this was the video. No.
I'm going to have to download this and have Gary. Hey, Gary, you know what? We're going to have you throw this through your clarifying video process that you've got.
When it comes to the feet, I'm seeing mammal bones. Midway through the foot, there's like a break, and that's what you'd expect.
The feet and how the feet are moving is the most interesting part of it. But the one part, as they get further on, as they're doing whatever they're doing down there, you can see the head is moving a little bit, not much as it was in that spot when they were getting up close. Who knows? Yeah. Interesting, to say the least. It's speculative, if anything, but it's just, a lot of people have looked at this. It's one of those things we need to take a look at and understand more. Larry?
I just watched a YouTube video of the guy who made the fake one.
Yeah.
Okay. And his story is pretty convincing. Sounded like he was telling the absolute truth. And this looks on the same exact order of that one, but this one, like you said, has much more convincing details, but I just can't get over why would there be one fake one
and one real one?
Real ones like it, yeah.
Well, the story with that was he wasn't allowed to release the real one, so he recreated it. That was the story around that at the time. That's what came out in the early 2000s.
Well,
very interesting.
But they showed him the real one, and then he recreated it.
Could an AI algorithm take the original video and expound on it and make it more creative? You got to think about this in terms of things that, like, why is this being released now? Like, all of a sudden we have all kinds of video capabilities that we don't even have to manufacture ourselves. We can do a lot of different things. Like, why is this coming out now? Like, I love you guys. We got to stop paying attention to what we see, and we have to start thinking why we're being shown what we're being shown.
Well, part of the stuff of what we were supposed to start moving towards last year, the conversation was supposed to start moving from the actual craft itself was to start moving and talking more about the occupants of the craft. The best way you can start talking about the occupants of the craft is potentially if you go ahead and start sharing images of that potentially and start getting the public more primed for it and understanding of it and used to the potentiality of what these things could look like or some situations of one of many different types of what they look like.
1,000% agree, Thomas. Like, it feeds right into it. But the point is like, there's so many sideshows going on right now, in my opinion, that we have to stop being visually enchanted, because so many people are visually enchanted.
Yeah.
No, we're not. We're
No.
just, I mean, we're always thinking about the same thing you're thinking. At least I am.
Yeah.
No. I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about the majority, Larry. I'm talking about people that just see things on and like, show me a video and I'll believe.
That's why we have it on Disclosure tonight. While we talk about stuff here, we always have to have people to stand from the center. You can take a look at it. We can go down that pipe, but we just can't throw the baby with the bathwater and just instantly assume that people are going to see something and they're going to think that that's the way it is. It's good to give them a warning to it, but you just have to be. I guess it's looking at the way to try and bring them to that kind of thought. I believe, let's see, but I know a bunch of people have their hands up, but I believe next, let me check the queue where we're at. It's actually, Andy's got his hand up. Andy? You're muted, Andy. We can't hear. There's something wrong with your audio. You've gone away. No, your audio is gone.
Try that. Hello? Can
you? Okay, we got you kind of back. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, me headphones unplugged a bit. This footage that you've shown of this autopsy thing, Super Crazy Movie Geek posted a link in chat, which I put in our in-call, and it's that same thing, and he's saying it's from a video game.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting. Good to know that's where it's from. It's always good to understand and see where it potentially goes. I don't see where that's at in the chat.
100, dude. It's from a video game. It's like the flyover of the triangular craft on the US aircraft carrier. They haven't done a good job mapping it, because if you stabilize the image, it's bouncing around everywhere. And it's clearly been put in post-edit at a lower resolution than what is uploaded it as. And you can see the frame skip and it popped back. And you can just count them, dude. It's like, yeah.
I was moving the frames back and forth. I heard this was from a game from 15 years. 15 years ago. It's from a video game. Here we go. Copy link address. Let's go ahead and bring this up. This was I love about our audience. Let me go ahead and see if I can find it. Dun, dun.
Like, I'm so scared of balloons. Like,
The Texas Murphy Pandora Directive, 1996. Alien Autopsy, Roswell. Yep, there you go. It's the exact same footage. Posted 15 years ago.
But that alien was dead.
Same bad frame rate, things going down, the head moving back and forth. There you go. I love it. Brings it down, shows us where it's at. Thank you for spoofing that one out. Now we need to go back on Twitter, West, and tell them, hey, this is where it's from. I love it, audience.
Yeah,
Not bad. That is freaking stellar. Let's get it down off the air, get back to where we were at. Holy cow, what a great show. What a great audience. What a great topic for tonight. Start off with some... with an object flying over Alaska. Not quite sure what it is. They still haven't come down yet. They've gotten a lot of good intelligence on it. They know what this stuff looks like. They know where it was doing. They know how fast it was moving. But they're keeping everything quiet. It's more than the usual Chinese... Well, we're just going to blame it on Chinese drones. But now it sounds like there's no tolerance or little tolerance now for Chinese drones or UFOs that are going to be within our air flight area, like our commercial pilots are seeing all the time.
Did you know in World War II they had a plan to drop a bat bomb and they'd have little napalm bombs on them, and the bats would fly around and go into people's houses and they'd burn their houses down, and someone invented a bat bomb there.
Oh, well, not that one, but yeah. Interesting enough to say the least.
I also did give credit to Gary, because when I posted that in the back channel for us, he did call it out as a fake.
Well, good. I'm glad.
So he is the OG party pooper.
Hey, you know what? We need to have some people like that. That is a long name. Paul Yamel Subway. Well, figured out how to say that now. What a great audience. What a great show. What a great opportunity to go ahead and talk about the phenomena. We've gone an extra hour longer than we usually go tonight into our
Subway Army Denton.
What,
And
Gary?
I was going to cut out early. I just can't. It was too good of a show.
What were you saying, Gary?
I was going to cut out early.
Oh, no, I said Gary, not Larry. I know, great show though, wasn't it? Holy
We never
cow.
know with you, because you call Larry Gary and Gary Larry.
And I call Luke Gary, and everyone's a Gary for that matter. Gotta have some fun. Gotta enjoy it. My God, what a great show. We're up to 4,339 subs. That was a quick jump. Appreciate everyone subscribing for the show. I hope everybody has had a good time. Holy cow, what a great opportunity to go ahead and share it with us with the audience. Hope, I'm excited by the excitement that we're seeing from the community, just for what's going on and for our community of growing disclosure tonight. Holy cow. On that note, as I usually do nearing the end of the broadcast, where in the heck did that go? It's not just about the show. It's not about the topics. First of all, I've thanked you once. I'll thank you another time. Let's see if I can find this here really quick. I want to thank everybody for their super chats. Gary, did you track them tonight?
No, I shot them down and they fell into the sea and I can't find them.
All right. Let's go ahead and let's just do a quick thank you of all the people who have given us the super chats here tonight. I want to thank W. Decker, Royal Morning Blue, Eli McGinnis, Mr. Catfish 2100, Royal Morning Blue again, Gavin Smith, Ozark, Kraft, Susan Goes, Time Traveling, Pangolins, Royal Morning Blue, LM, Sierra Multimedia again, Owen from Ohio, W. Decker, Just Phil again, Mr. Catfish 2100 again, Shelly Montgomery, Pam Harris, Ant-Man. I appreciate everybody. Every single dollar that comes into Disclosure tonight goes back into our production fund. I am so humbled by everyone's love and support. Thank you so much, everybody. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your love and support. More importantly, I want to thank some people we've had together in the back on today's show. W. Decker, thanks for coming around today.
Hey, my pleasure. This is an awesome show tonight. Thank you.
Oh, God, yeah. A lot better than I ever thought it would be. Holy cow. Such an exciting topic. Andy W., also known as Yellow Tommy Tanker. Still with us?
Yeah, still with you. Yeah, absolutely brilliant show. Sorry, my kids are getting up.
Oh, don't worry about it. My friend Christian Morales. Hi. Thanks for coming in tonight, Chris. Great having you here.
Great show.
Absolutely. Crypto Mike, you were quiet tonight.
Because I was taking in all the information about the topic today.
Yeah, isn't it something amazing?
It's beyond amazing, and it's also very interesting as far as it could go either way.
I know.
That's the part that I'm puzzled over.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, I guess the next couple of days are going to be very interesting for everybody.
Yeah, especially tomorrow, Saturday, 2 p.m. Pacific. Disclosure tonight for our show. If it happened, we'll try and cover it there. LM, thanks for coming out tonight, Lee.
Lee, you're still muted.
Yeah. Oh, he's gone. He stepped away momentarily. Larry Gurnt, Larry, quite contrary. How do you let your hair grow? My God, thanks for coming out tonight, Larry. You said you weren't going to stay long, but you stayed the night.
Yeah, I couldn't break away. It was too good.
Yeah.
And LM, when I was trying to cut in on you, I didn't mean to sound angry. I was trying to get my voice injected in there, and I love your points today, all of them.
Yeah.
No, Larry, love you. You know I love you, man. And Mike, sorry.
Likewise.
Anyway, I was typing something out on the back chat there, but
yeah, vinyl fluoride. So yeah, plastic forever, pituitary gland, and testicular blocker. God, sounds like a cock blocker if you ask me. Who else?
Yeah,
do we have?
no, it's interesting if they want to talk about PCBs and fluoride. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Sapphire Elf, all the way from the land down under.
I'm out.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for coming out tonight. Appreciate you being here tonight. You guys hang out and everything because you know what? It's not just about the super chats. It's not just about the panel in the back. It's about all the people who were in the show today and actually all the people who are still in our chat right now. Let's see who we still have out there right now. Participants in the chat. We've got 4 Up, Amiga Rules, Blake McCreary, Bob F. 114, Delta Echo, Dry Toast, Earthkeeper. Remember, Dry Toast. There's nothing that goes better with humans than dry toast. After all, 9 out of 10 aliens surveyed prefer to have dry toast when they consume humans. Dry toast does an alien good. Earthkeeper, Edmund 184, Electra A Case, Electra RC, also known as Zach, Gog, Jan in the middle again, Jimmy McKillop's Cell Phone Cinema, Jimmy Schmidt, Just Phil, Larry Gurnt, Lex Diaz, Mail, Metal Gaming, all the way from across the pond in Denmark, Owen from Ohio, Paul, Yemmel, Subway Denton. Good to see. Oh, God, did I just cast a spell? I hope not. If it's so, I'll put it out that way. Renee Cruz, good to see as always. Royal Morning Blue, Sapphire Elf, Shelley Montgomery, Super Unknown, Susan Ghost, Time Traveling Pangolins, Sarah, you were great in the back. Sorry to see you leave so soon. The Observer. And, of course, Thor Panchow. As we usually say at the end of every one of our broadcasts, eyes open, no fear. Be safe, everyone.
Night all.
One more time.
Go back to Party City where you belong.
Absolutely, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Good night, everybody. We'll see you soon. Good night from myself, from Cupcake, from everyone in the back. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Bye-bye. Thanks, everybody.
Good night, Cupcake.